Hey guys, so we are back again with another reading, and this one is all about their thoughts and feelings towards you. So, what are they feeling, thinking about you? What is going on in their head towards you? We are going to get into all of it, and I'm really excited for this one because we're going to do a deep dive, and it's perfect for any kind of romantic connection. So, an ex, twin flame, someone you're in separation from, or just a crush, or someone you're involved with currently. But we are going to see what they are thinking and feeling towards you. So, really excited for this one, and we have a beautiful selection of crystals with cards for you guys to choose from. So if at any point you already feel drawn to a certain palette, you can definitely skip ahead to that point. I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon. The link for that is in my bio, and I post a lot of fun readings over there, including all the 18 plus stuff that YouTube doesn't really like. So just a little bit of a more idea of what their fantasies are and things like that, fun topics. So definitely check that out if you guys would like to join us over there. And so with that being said, I will show you guys the numbers on each of the piles as well. So we are starting off with pile 1, then we have pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we are going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey, pile 1, so for your pick a card, you guys got discontent and boredom, and for the tarot, you got the Page of Wands, the Lovers, the King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Death card. So we can see that this person, first of all, has a lot of attraction for you, with the Page of Wands coming out right off the top. They clearly have a lot of sexual enthusiasm when it comes to you, probably fantasize a lot about you. They find you very sexy and attractive. With the next card being the Lovers, I can see that their feelings were fairly deep for you and intense. But then it transitions at the end of this pull into the Two of Swords and the Death card. So it almost seems like maybe you guys aren't talking, or there's some kind of a separation, or they feel like they might have made the wrong choice and it's over. So it feels like to them, this is somewhat of a loss, a negative feeling associated with this. Their feelings were really strong and very much directed at you. And I don't know if they made the wrong choice, they made the wrong decision, but I can see that there seems to be some kind of an ending or disappointment being indicated here. Um, Also with the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, I'm not sure whether this is their energy or your energy. They could be talking about them not having the money to impress you, that they needed more money or more status or more power in order to impress you, but they just didn't have that. And that's something they're looking back on in regret. But I can see that their emotions were very strong in this, and they really did care about you. The Lovers is the most intense spiritual love card in the tarot. So for that to come out says that their feelings were really deep for you and very intense. I can see a lot of love coming through, and I almost feel like what's coming through to me is regret. It's like almost an apology, something like I made the wrong decision, I didn't choose correctly. And I feel like this person is also saying that they were a little immature at the time. With the Page of Wands coming out, that can be a very immature card. The Page is the youngest of the court cards, so it can indicate literally being younger than you, or just a lot of immaturity that they had at the time. And almost like I feel like they didn't realize how intense of a relationship this was until later. Something where maybe they knew they were attracted to you, and they knew that like they had these sexual feelings for you, but maybe they just thought like, oh, it's just that. It's only, I'm just attracted to this person, and that's why I can't stop thinking about them. Like they're just really hot, that kind of a thing. And now that they've had time to reflect on it and time to think it through, they're like, these feelings aren't going away anytime soon. And okay, wait, was this something way deeper? And I feel like it's something where they're looking back a little bit in regret and thinking about, did I make the wrong choice, or did I not handle things correctly? Because I'm getting a strong vibe that this person kind of didn't take things seriously enough. Like, I feel that again, the attraction was there, the enthusiasm was there, but when it came time to be in a grounded relationship, I don't know if this person took it as seriously as they should have. Like, I feel like in a way, there's no cup cards coming out, and maybe this person wasn't as in touch with their emotions and didn't realize how special this was at the time. And now that they've had time to reflect, it's like, wow, this was impactful and this was something special. I want to get some song cards to figure out what other songs sum up the vibe of this relationship. Spirit, can you give me some song cards to sum up the vibe? Okay, we got Criminal, Britney Spears. Maybe they are a criminal. Sunday Morning. Okay, that's a breakup song. Nightmare, Miley Cyrus, another breakup song. Okay. Run Away With Me, Carly Rae Jepsen. A lot of pop songs coming out. And then The Heart Wants What It Wants. Okay, that's like the ultimate breakup song, in my opinion, of someone regretting how they acted. It's all coming back to me now. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of depth of emotion here. Like, these are all really emotional songs, really intense songs. Sunday Morning is one of my favorite breakup songs. And actually, it's an interesting story behind that song because Gwen Stefani wrote it when she was in No Doubt and dating Tony, the bassist, and she was I'm not sure if he's the bassist actually, he might be just the guitarist. But anyway, I think he might be the bassist, but they were dating and then she was like really having a bad day on a Sunday and she locked herself in the bathroom or something. And then he was kind of reassuring her and playing this song. And anyway, after they broke up, she wrote this really angry breakup song about it and basically saying like, well, look at you now and look at me now, and kind of gloating because she was like the star of the band. And anyway, I love that song because it's just like so, I think it's a really great song anyway, but there's also kind of like this look at me and look at you energy. And I just feel like she glowed up afterwards and kind of like this indication that maybe you have glowed up or you're doing really well and maybe them comparing themselves to you, or maybe that they've accomplished things in their life, but they still look back and think like, wow, this person like they're amazing and that was my one shot. Sometimes even when someone gets the money or the status or the clout, they're always going to think about that person that got away. I just feel like there's an indication that they didn't treat you right at the time, that they were neglectful or not emotionally as supportive of you or not as connected to you as they should have been. Almost like they didn't open up their heart in the way that they should have. And almost also like an acknowledgement that they didn't act right. That they might have even been running from their emotions a little bit. With the King of Pentacles, it can be someone who's not super emotional at all, someone who's a little even emotionally stilted, and maybe someone who focuses more on money or status or power than on the relationship. So I feel like this person is coming through with a lot of like wistfulness, and also I feel like they've had time to reflect and see what they did wrong. So let me get some more cards. So we got the Hungry Ghost, Obsessions, Scarcity, Consciousness, Attachment, the Eyes of Beauty, Positive Expectations, Clarity, the Sacred Union, Partnership, Romance, and the Wise Woman of Wonderland, Integrity and Compromise. So I rarely get this card coming out in card pull. So to me, this coming out right underneath the Six of or the Lovers, to me this says that this was a very sacred relationship and probably one that they consider to be their twin flame or their soulmate. If they know the phrase twin flame, this would definitely be the vibe of what they feel. I do feel like this person sees you as extremely beautiful and attractive, and I'm also getting a vibe with discontent and boredom that this person, it's like maybe they thought, relationships like this were a dime a dozen. Like, okay, well, yeah, they're attractive and we dated and I had feelings, but I'm going to have that again. But no one has captured their attention the way you captured their attention. And I do feel like with the Hungry Ghost, they're almost saying for them, this was a little bit of an obsession. They definitely were or still are kind of unable to stop thinking of you. They definitely focused on you a lot and like couldn't get you out of their head, and I feel like that's something that is still happening for them and something that they still kind of don't fully understand of like, why do I always think of this person? Why do I always have them on my mind? So there's a little bit of an acknowledgement that the level that they think about you is maybe unhealthy or just very intense. Like, again, I just feel like I'm getting surprised. I'm getting that this person, when they met you, they just weren't expecting, maybe they were young or you were young or something. And it's like, I didn't expect to find this intensity of a connection. I didn't expect to feel this strongly about this person, and I wasn't expecting it. And And it's definitely taken them by surprise. And I do feel like there's an acknowledgement. I don't know if there's a lie or something, but with Criminal by Britney Spears and then Integrity Compromise, maybe they lied to you about something, or they weren't honest, or they didn't tell the truth, or they weren't honest and upfront with their feelings. But I do feel like there's, again, a reflection about past bad behavior, something they did bad or wrong that they're saying, like, I messed up and I regret that. Um, so yeah, a lot of regret coming through. So we also got adjacent possibilities, deceit, and storm warning. So with deceit, I don't know, maybe they did lie. That's an energy that's coming through really strong. I'm seeing like the Seven of Swords in my mind. And so maybe they weren't honest with you. Maybe they it couldn't even maybe it's not even that they did something horrible, although they definitely could have in this pile. They might have cheated or something like that, but it could have been just that they didn't tell you their feelings, or they played it off to you, or you tried to have a conversation with them about, like, well, how do you feel about me? And they lied to you, and they were like, oh, well, you're a friend or something. I just feel like there's an acknowledgement that they messed up. They didn't do it like the way they should have, and now they've had a lot of time to reflect on it. And I feel like maybe they've tried dating around, they've tried dating other people, and it's like, I'm open to those other people, but I just never feel that same spark. I never feel the same way. It's not that I'm closed off and I'm, refusing to date, but it's just not the same. It's not giving me, I'm bored. It's not giving me that emotion and that heat and that passion and that pull that I felt to this person, because I feel like, again, with obsession coming through, they were a little obsessed. Like, they couldn't get you out of their mind. It was like an addiction. And maybe sometimes I think when someone feels that intensity of emotion, especially if they're in King of Pentacles energy and they're very like orderly and disciplined, that can really scare them. Like, this is a threat to my life. Like, if you suddenly imagine in your life, if you had a very orderly life and you suddenly became addicted to something. Maybe you went to Vegas for a weekend with friends and you became randomly addicted to gambling. Like, I know that's a crazy scenario, but you know what I mean? You'd be pretty freaked out. You'd be like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. Why am I thinking about spending all my time gambling? This is a problem. And I feel like that's almost how they felt towards you, is like, this is not healthy. I shouldn't be thinking of this person so much. And they got scared, basically, is what I'm picking up on. And I feel like they sabotaged it somehow, or they didn't put the effort in that they should have. And it's like they almost wanted to keep it in their mind as like, oh no, it's just a Page of Wands, it's just that I'm attracted to them, it's just that I'm turned on by them, but like, it's nothing serious, I don't really care about them, and whatever. Like, that I feel like that's how they tried to write it off in their mind, as like, they're just hot and I just have a crush because they're sexy, and that's it. And it's nothing deeper than that. It's just like, look at them, they're really good looking. um and now, as time has passed and they can't get you out of their head, it's like, okay, I think it's a little more than that. So we also got boundaries and creativity. So that's interesting. With boundaries, I don't know if that's you or them, but I feel like someone put up boundaries. I don't know if they messed up and then you put up boundaries, or they had their boundaries up from the beginning, because I could see both those scenarios. I definitely feel like this is someone who had, generally speaking, strong boundaries. That's definitely a King of Pentacle vibe. And someone who like wasn't the one to just be fully open to love and just like welcoming it in and just like really excited about, like, I'm in love, yay. So it could definitely be them with the boundaries that kind of ruined this. Like, obviously it's good to have boundaries, but you don't want to have too much of boundaries, right? Like, it's good to have, some healthy boundaries in your life, but you don't want to have like a moat with alligators inside it and like fire, and you know what I mean? Like, we need to be somewhat open to other human beings and to these kind of special relationships. So I feel like this person is just saying, like, maybe my boundaries were too up, or it might have been when they messed up and they acted badly, that you put up boundaries towards them and you were like, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. With creativity, you guys might be really creative. I'm getting that you guys are kind of creative, or you almost inspired them to go outside the bounds of like what they would usually act like. Like maybe they are very by the book with King of Pentacle energy, very disciplined and very kind of logical minded. And then you're creative and inspired them to like get outside that and to open themselves up. Um, it could also be that they're creative. I'm getting some of them are creative themselves. But I feel like there was something about this relationship that really inspired them to open their heart, their creativity, their mind, their, that chakra, maybe the crown chakra, or just to think more deeply and more openly about things. So you might have inspired them. I'm hearing inspired to write a song, or inspired to write a story, or a book, or I don't know, something small. It could be a fan fiction, anything, but I just feel like you inspired their creativity in some way and kind of opened this doorway for them. And it's funny, as I say that, I see there's a doorway on there. And I feel like you guys had some common interests, because I'm getting that you guys were into like, either you talk about the same thing, like an anime, or some kind of like artistic thing. So maybe like a cartoon series or a movie series, or you just had similar interests. Maybe even not that artistic, but like you're both into like certain type of philosophy. You both read like Nietzsche or something. But it was like a mental commonality, I feel, that you guys had, and an interest that you guys shared. And I feel that something about you has inspired them to be more creative in their life and more open, and to, be willing to dive into that section of things. So let's get more cards. So we got relationships, indecision, and growth. So I feel like at the time this person was very indecisive from the relationship. Like it's like I'm getting like they didn't know which way to turn. They didn't know which way to go, and I feel like they feel now that they've made the wrong choice, or that they did the wrong thing. So something like, they chose not to pursue it, or they were like, okay, I should tell them how I feel, and then they were like, no, I'm not going to do it, and they talked themselves out of it. Or there was some decision, like, or choosing between two people, some way they chose to act that I feel like they've looked back on now and are like, I made the total wrong choice, because we got the Two of Swords as well. So it's a major theme and adjacent possibilities too. So maybe they were picking between you and someone else and they chose the wrong person. Because I just keep getting like I took the easy route. I took the easy way out. And so it's something where like they chose to do what was just easier for them in the moment, and it wasn't that hard for them. Like I'm gonna pursue this relationship with this person that doesn't make me so nervous, that I feel more comfortable and confident around, because I don't care as much about them, but it's way easier for me in the moment. So I feel that now they've reflected and they're like, oh my God, I completely regret that. It's almost like they knew that you had some feelings, or you would have been open to it, and they got scared. Like it was just so much pressure, and then they sabotaged it because it was so hard for them to face the rejection. Because if you had like rejected them, they would have been devastated. So they just ran, I feel. And I feel like they're acknowledging that they've grown a lot from this, that they have gone through a lot of self growth and a lot of deep understanding of how they messed up. They've done a lot of thinking on this, and they are regretful, and they are coming through to just say like, I messed up and I know I did. I don't stand by my actions. I don't feel like I made the right choice. Like you should know that I am regretful, and I mess things up, and I totally get that, and I know it, and I'm fully taking on that responsibility. So at least they have some maturity in that sense, and I do applaud that, because yeah, I think it's good that they realize that they didn't handle things correctly. And I do feel like part of that is like they know in a way that it's hurt you. I don't think they know, I don't think they think of you as like sitting at home completely devastated and, crying yourself to sleep. But I think they know that like you were willing and open to it at the time. And they kind of now are like, wow, I also hurt them. I hurt myself even more. And it's just, yeah, they know it was a mistake. And I do feel like they do feel bad about the pain it caused you. So let me get more cards. So we also got attraction. They're very attracted to you. That keeps coming out. Honeymoon, keep an open mind, and true love. I do feel like keep an open mind was their energy at the time. I almost feel like maybe they had a fear of commitment or a fear of attachment, or they have an attachment disorder, like avoidant attachment or something. And it was like they wanted to keep their options open. They didn't want to like lock themselves down in like this serious relationship. And they knew that being with you, it would be serious. It wouldn't just be like your typical, like, oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, but like, yeah, we broke up. And anyway, like, it would be like this overwhelming soulmate type vibe. And I just feel like for them, that was scary. Like they were frightened. I'm getting some of them have like divorced parents or bad family situations. And so I think that they were very fixated on the time about having sex with you, because with honeymoon, that's what comes to mind is like, there are people who are just like so excited to sleep with each other and they're just sleeping together all the time. And I feel like that was like a main focus for them, was like your body, your face, like how attractive you are. And it's almost like they just fixated on that, and then they didn't realize that like that was true, that you are attractive, but their feelings were about way more than that. um it's almost like they were so attracted to you. It's almost like in a weird way their attraction for you worked against your relationship, like, because I feel like you guys are so attractive, honestly, in this pile. I'm not trying to gas you guys up, but I just feel like they're saying that you guys are so attractive that it's like they just wrote it off to that in their mind. Like, oh, well, that's why I care so much. That's why I can't stop thinking about them. Like, probably everyone has a crush on them and whatever. This is nothing special. You know what I mean? This is probably how everyone feels. And I'm just attracted to them physically, and that's it. And that's why I'm thinking about them. And so it's almost like in a weird way, if you had been less attractive, they would have maybe taken it more seriously and been like, okay, this is something spiritual at play. But I think because their like root chakra was so activated for you that they just didn't realize that like it was all their chakras. It was the crown chakra. There was a spiritual component here. Um, but they were very, and sometimes I think spirit does that, like with two soulmates, they will make them just so attracted to each other that it's just crazy, because it's like that's one way, that's a very strong primal way of getting people's attention. But then sometimes when someone's in that, they just don't realize that like it's more than this. It's not just a hookup, it's not just a crush. This is a spiritual connection, until after, when they can't get the person off their mind. So I feel like at the time there was like a fear of locking themselves down or trying to write it off, trying to play it off, trying to play it down. But very much this was like a heart chakra type of thing. But they weren't as aware of it at the time. So I want to get some messages from this person to you. So we've spent past lifetimes together. Wow, why am I not surprised? You are so beautiful. Okay, as I was saying, being with you feels fresh and new. Okay, which one fell out? I am in awe of you. Wow. I feel like you guys have accomplished some stuff, is what they're saying. That you've accomplished stuff since the breakup, or you're doing really well. And as I'm saying that, I so respect everything you've earned in your life. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's just basically saying like, you, whatever it is, it's amazing. Like they are so impressed. I can't help but be jealous of the thought of you with someone else. Life with you is so much fun. I feel like there's this component of them letting you go with someone else, or them not kind of like, I'm hearing claiming you, which is so odd that that's coming to mind. But like maybe they didn't tell other people about you, or they didn't want to have a label or whatever, but it's like you went off with someone else or something, and they're very jealous now and very upset about it. I feel again, there's just so much regret. There's just so much like, I messed up and I know it, and I'm apologizing and I'm regretful, but like I know I messed up, and I know it was me and it was my fault and I acknowledge it. Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, I just think you guys might be soulmates or have spent other lifetimes together. It feels like yeah, it feels like a twin flame or a soulmate thing where you guys really knew each other on the astral plane. And I don't know, I am seeing past lifetime images flitting through my head. I'm seeing someone be burned at the stake actually, which is odd. But I feel like you guys it's like doomed love or something. Let me get some messages. What are the messages from this person to pile one? From pile one's person. Can we get a message from pile one's person to them? Okay, that is weird. This card like flew out as I was bringing this over, but anyway, balance. Love is not always about agreeing for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So maybe that was the problem or something. Like maybe they wanted easy or something. I just keep getting that they chose wrong and they chose easier. Maybe you were challenging to them, or you would speak up, or you were, I feel like you guys are just a challenge yourselves because you are attractive. And maybe they were so aware that like you would have a lot of different offers and of different people being interested in you, and they got, their ego got wounded or something, or they're like, that is too much work. I'm not going to fight for this person. Like, I don't want a relationship where everyone's after my girl. That's too much pressure, something like that. Because I feel like now they're like, oh my God, I understand that, like the pain, I don't want to say the trauma, but the intensity of the emotion, the challenge of it. Like when you feel, I notice sometimes in my life, like when there's something I really want that's really big, and maybe it's in limbo for some reason at the time, like, there's something happening that I really do want, but I haven't gotten confirmation, or it hasn't gone through yet, or there's something that there's an uncertainty about it. It's so painful. Like I notice that, like I will stress out and freak out about something that I really want if it's not like a sure thing, like everything confirmed, you know what I mean? I will spend so much time worrying about it, and it's so uncomfortable. And I obviously now I'm, spiritually aware enough to like stop myself from worrying. But I mean, it is a painful like feeling and a hard reflex to get away from, because when you want something so badly, it's a very, there's so much tension and so much negativity running through your mind of like, this isn't going to happen, this isn't going to work out, if it doesn't work out this, if it does work out this. And it's like almost like you have an urge to sabotage it, to be like, screw this, I'm just done, I'm not doing it. And I almost feel like that's what was happening, is like they wanted you so bad, and the intensity scared them inside, so they wrote it off, they dismissed it, they ran away from it. And I think now they're like, wow, that was the real deal. That was the real thing. And I don't feel like they fully let you know at all how they feel. I'm feeling like they either don't follow you guys on Instagram, or if they do, they don't like your posts, or they wouldn't like your stories, or, they try to act like they don't want you to know, because I feel like they would be embarrassed about this. It's almost like, again, the intensity of their emotion towards you and their attraction for you, and how much they kind of look up to you and put you on a pedestal in that sense, kind of works against you, because it's like, I feel that they still worry about how you perceive them, and they wouldn't want to seem, I'm hearing simp in my mind. They wouldn't want to seem like some loser who's like stalking your page and, you know, checking all your socials all the time. Like, so they're still very image concerned. And I do feel like this has worked against them. Was one of the main things that worked against your connection, was like them not wanting to seem lame, and not wanting to seem like a beta is what I'm hearing in my mind. Or not wanting to seem pathetic, so it's almost like they just held themselves back. And they don't want to seem like they're obsessed with you. They don't want you to know how much they do think of you, and how much energy they put on you. So I feel like they play themselves kind of cool. Again, they're the King of Pentacles, so they generally want to come off probably as well very logical and very together, very disciplined, and not like someone who's obsessively scrolling through someone's like Facebook pics from 5 years ago, or whatever. So yeah, I definitely feel like this desire to keep it secret is a reason why it's held back. Let me get some astro dice to see the energies working in this relationship with pile one's person's feelings for them. So we got the nodes. Oh my gosh. We got Gemini, and we got the fifth house. Wow. And fifth house is really a major house of love. And like I said, it's also a house of hobbies and interests, which I do feel like you guys share that. It's also Leo, and the sun. So, the sun is like the star. It literally is the star. And I feel like you guys are the star to them a little bit. There's a vibrancy to you. There's a fascination they have for you. You know, Leo placements can be kind of fascinating and eye-catching, and that's how they view you. You know, they could kind of stare at you all day is what I'm hearing. And also, like, again, I feel like you guys share interests. And Leo is also just where things we love go, you know? So I feel like they just like you. They just get along with you. They just enjoy you. Like, it's like I'm hearing you're cool. Like, I feel like you guys just had good conversations, and there's just something about you that you guys vibe, which again, I see that in a lot of soulmates and past life relationships is like, sometimes there can almost be a sibling type energy because they've known each other for so long that it's not like that initial romantic thing of like trying to play it cool with the person. It's like you just talk, you know each other so well, and you can talk about anything, and there's a comfort that I feel like you guys have, and that comes true with Gemini as well. Is I feel like the conversations were really on point, and I do feel like they would like to communicate with you now, but I do see them holding themselves back with the nodes. That is definitely a soulmate indicator that you guys have past lifetimes together, because the South node is literally your past lives, and your North node is your current life destiny. So maybe you guys will reunite or something, but I definitely see that you guys have this soulmate connection that I feel like was established a long time ago, probably centuries ago. Let me get some more additional messages for pile one from their person. So we got ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. New love. Embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. And the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. So it's almost like I think this person thinks that you've moved on, or they're acknowledging that you have every right to move on, that like I feel that they didn't do enough to try to kind of keep you and to have you like the way they would have wanted. Like it's like they messed it up and they know that, and so they're not mad. They might be upset a little bit that like you're, you know, not with them, but I also feel like they're saying like I was the bad one. I was the crazy one that like didn't act right. And so of course I understand that they're going to be dating around, and I feel like that makes them sad, but they're also like, I know I didn't do my fair share of the bargain, so I understand if they are dating someone else. So I don't know if some of you guys are and you've been posting it on your socials, because like I said, I definitely think they lurk your socials, but I don't think they would be the type to acknowledge it or to reach out to you on it and tell you what's going on. I definitely feel they would be the type to hide that and just not let you know what's happening. So let me get some additional cards for pile one from this fairy deck, because you guys kind of have a fairy energy to you. So we got temptation. Oh my gosh. They're so attracted to you. It's so crazy. New beginnings, pure intentions, and shine from within. I think there was something very pure about you guys, and I still think they view you as being very pure, very innocent hearted, very sweet and loving and kind to them. Like I feel like they are saying that, you know, you were so good to them, and that even though they didn't act right, you always saw the best in them and treated them so nicely and sweetly. And I think that, you know, they see that, they know how kind and open and loving you are. And I think that's something that they were very attracted to. And I think it kills them that that's going to be directed towards someone else, because I'm surprised we didn't get somebody else by like 1975 in the music cards, because that is coming to mind and I'm hearing it in my mind. I feel like I'm hearing it kills me to see you look at someone else the way you looked at me or something like that. Kills me to think about that. So I feel like there's a lot of sadness here, but there's also this resignation, kind of like it is what it is. I know I can't change this. I know I messed up, and I know they're going to have these new beginnings, and I know they're going to move on with someone else. And I do think their higher self is kind of telling you like it is okay if you want to move on, because I think this person has a lot to figure out, and they would have to step into more of an authoritative energy of like being willing to step towards you, being willing to put themselves out there. They were so attracted to you, but they didn't take the action they needed. And it's almost like they again, they might still be in an energy of seeking out or being in a relationship that's just a lot easier for them, where they're not having to put their heart on the line. Where if this person breaks up with them or says something mean or doesn't like something they're doing, they're not going to feel devastated or sad or upset. They're going to be like, oh, okay, whatever, you know? Um, they're going to be able to get over it quick. And so, they're just kind of taking the easy way out, which spirit is never a fan of. And sometimes people get karma from that. And a lot of times, you see those relationships where I do private readings and, I'll talk to someone who's been married for decades and they're just like, yeah, I don't know. I married him because he was just kind of easy. And, it's never fulfilling. It never is. So I just think, life is long and we'll see the long term effects of this. I feel like they've already realized that they messed up, but I still think they're a little holding themselves back, not ready to be honest. So I don't think you will hear from them anytime soon. I could be wrong. For some of them, they might level up. It's a general reading, but I feel a lot of them are holding themselves back. So just keep that in mind that I feel like you do have a pass from like your higher self and their higher self that you can, seek out a new relationship or something like that. And there won't be anything bad about that. Let me get some additional final song cards for you guys. What are these songs that sum up this vibe? Never Get You Right. Wow. This is a lot of intense love. Oh my gosh. I remember Yay Sayer. Okay, well. Door, Caroline Polachek. Oh my goodness. These are also some of my favorite songs. But anyway, Wait for Me, Hall & Oates. Oh, maybe they do want you to wait for them. Unchained Melody. Okay, so like this is so intense. These are like some of the most intense songs I have in there. And to get so many of them, like again, just says to me that this is a very deep feelings, the very deep feelings. I can see why you guys are watching this because I definitely feel like you guys do have that connection on the astral plane with Door by Caroline Polachek coming out. I definitely feel like you guys have a spiritual component to this connection and to this love. And I'm hearing literally the lines from that song where she says, "You open the door and I'm running through to you." And it's like if you watch the video, it's very metaphysical and astral planey in my opinion. And yeah, all her songs are so romantic and chairlift songs too. But I think that like this is a very spiritual thing and you changed something in them. You opened a door within them that I feel like has awakened them and they're still in that process of awakening, but I think they're coming through as very grateful, like thank you for teaching me this, thank you for giving me this love that I've experienced, because it's like a lot of people dream of a love like this and never get to feel it this way, this intensity. So I think that with them it's like I'm grateful for what you taught me. I understand how I messed up and I know I wish you would wait for me, but I also understand that you have to move on. But I think they reminisce a lot. I Remember by Yesayer is such a intensively memory based like song. I mean, the title, duh, I remember, but it's just the whole song is like about intense memories, in my opinion. I love that song and I think it's such an intense, like conjuring up type of song of past love, in my opinion. And so yeah, I think they think about you all the time. And that song, they're just literally listing off like memories from the past. So I think that of a past relationship. So I don't know. I just think this person feels really strongly for you. This is like intense and I'm sad that you guys aren't together, but I also think you guys are on separate journeys or paths. Maybe you guys will reunite in the future, but for right now I feel like they're just growing, but their feelings are very much there and they acknowledge all the mistakes they've made. So wow, this was a lot. This was very intense, you guys. So let me know what was happening with this relationship in the comments. I'm going to be curious to hear about it. Give it a big thumbs up as well if it resonated. And if you guys want to see my additional readings, including some of my 18 plus, what are they thinking readings, like what are their fantasies and stuff like that, you can definitely check out my Patreon for that. So we can be a little more open than on YouTube. It's nothing too crazy, but just, all the stuff YouTube is like, no, you can't say that. So anyway, Check that out if you guys want to join us over on Patreon, and make sure to subscribe over here as well if you want additional readings. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile two. So you guys picked the Elves card, Playfulness, and for your tarot, you got the Four of Swords, the Empress, the Fool, the Page of Cups, the Ten of Cups reversed, the Sun, the Queen of Wands, and the Tower reversed. So I can see that, first of all, your person really reveres you. They see you as extremely beautiful and also very sexually compelling, with the Queen of Wands and the Empress coming out. And the Sun, there's a strong sexual component that they see in you. They find you very attractive and like someone who commands a lot of attention. And I can see that it's almost like they look up to you or they revere you in this way. I do feel like they were a little bit intimidated by you, and there was a little bit of comparison going on that led to them maybe not having the right self-esteem or feeling less than, and doing a lot of that internal comparison or feeling like they didn't measure up to you. I can see with the Four of Swords reversed that you guys might have a connection on the astral plane and appear to each other in dreams, or that this person had a lot of sleepless nights thinking about you, dreaming about you, and just really unable to kind of move on. But I do see this strong intimidation coming through where they felt like they were still the Page of Cups, whereas you're in Empress energy. You kind of have it figured out. You guys are very beautiful, and there's something serene about you. I'm seeing the image of a duck paddling under, under the surface, and the everything appears smooth on top, but if you would look under the surface, you can see it paddling wildly. And I just feel like you guys, you get a lot done in a very calm way. Like, you are the type to always appear like you have your stuff figured out. You're not going to go around looking disheveled or bedraggled. I just feel like you guys, you present as very like either well dressed, or like you guys really are very highly intelligent, and you're not one to get like chaotic and seem like you are a mess. You just seem like you carry yourself with like a certain level of self-esteem or confidence or innate dignity. And I feel like they were very drawn to this, but then they're also very intimidated and comparing themselves to you in that sense. With the Ten of Cups coming out, that can show that maybe they felt a little emotionally dysregulated compared to you. It can even talk about depression or just someone not feeling good at all. And I do feel like with you guys, it's almost like I'm not good enough because look at them, look how perfect they are. And look at me over here. I'm just a complete mess and I don't have anything figured out. And it may have even prompted a tower moment for them. Also with Elves playfulness, to me, what comes up is that you guys are just really amazing in social situations. Like, I feel at least what they are saying to me is that you guys just always know how to comport yourself, how to behave, that you would know exactly what to say at a party. You don't seem like the type to be easily flustered, or at least that's how they perceive you, is like you really have it figured out. You really know how to behave and know how to act, and you always know the right thing to say. And then they're comparing themselves, and I honestly wonder if maybe there's some depression here, or that this person just has low self-esteem or anxiety or something like that. But it just feels like they keep being like, I don't measure up, I can't measure up, and they're so amazing, they're so beautiful, they're so special. And it's almost like they can't imagine why or what you would ever see in them. I feel like they have a lot of self-worth issues. If this is a man, they might have like low testosterone or something like that. If it's a woman, it may be just be someone who's dealing with a lot of low self-esteem. But I just feel like this person really has just isn't feeling good about themselves, isn't feeling that positive energy of like, I love my life, I'm excited about things. And I feel like they might also have a lack of motivation in that same way, because I think sometimes, these kinds of feelings can lead to a lack of motivation when you're depressed, like you neglect things or let things fall apart in your life, and almost like they didn't have the energy to pursue you in the way you would need to be pursued, or to reciprocate the energy, because I feel like they're dealing with a lot of their own stuff, and they see you as so perfect. It's hard for them to see how they could fit in or add value to your life. It's like you're up on this pedestal and you are the Sun and the Empress and the Queen of Wands, and they're over here feeling like, I'm such a mess, I'm such a like kind of like a noob is what I'm hearing. I'm such a disaster in comparison to them. And I almost feel like either they are younger than you or they might have just felt younger and like more immature than you. You might have helped them with something or talked them through things, and they would be the type to, just it's like they're saying they have a lot of problems compared to you. So I hope that makes sense, but I just feel like you either helped them with something and it's like that stayed with them and they appreciated it, but it's also like now they're like embarrassed, like, oh, I can't believe they saw me like that. It's so embarrassing. They're so perfect and I'm such a disaster. And yeah, they definitely, I think, think about you a lot, but it's almost like I'm getting embarrassment coming through energetically. Like it feels embarrassed. It feels like, wow, I really made a fool of myself. And we literally got the fool. So, I think that this person just feels very young, fresh, new compared to you, whereas they feel like you have it all figured out. And so, yeah, there's a lot of reverence for you, but then what I don't like is that it's contributing to them having a lack of self esteem. So, let's get more cards. So, we got the High Lady of Love and Compassion, the Hungry Ghost, Obsessions, Scarcity Consciousness, Attachment, the Mapmaker of Destiny, Authentic Purpose, Inspiration, Free Will, and the Lady of the Mirror, reflection, non-judgment. So I feel like there's something about you guys that's very non-judgmental towards them and very like trying to see the best in them and kind of like they love that and they appreciate that, but it's kind of like, how sometimes when someone's like you're having a rough day and someone's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And even though you know that like they're trying to be really sweet and nice and they're trying to like help, you're like even more embarrassed because you're like, "Oh my God, now everyone can tell maybe I've been moping around, I seem off." So even though you're like, "Yeah, and thanks for asking," you're like it makes you more self-conscious. Like they know how sweet and loving and kind you are, but I almost feel like it's like they don't want you to feel sorry for them. They don't want you to look down on them or think like, "Oh gosh, they're struggling." They want to be like the man is what I'm hearing in my mind. I'm hearing I want to be the man. So it's like I think that as much as they may have appreciated that from you and they can see that as like a strength of yours, they also are just like again embarrassed. Like I feel like their ego kind of is getting in the way. And we did get the Tower card, which can talk about reduction of ego and reduction of kind of like the masks people wear. So I feel like, but with the Hungry Ghosts, they definitely were very into you. I feel like they were very riveted by you. Again, very sexually attracted. With the Queen of Wands coming out, they find you to be extremely sexually exciting to them. And I do feel like they thought about you a lot, especially with the Four of Swords coming out reversed. They definitely had their mind on you almost in a way of like, why do I keep thinking of this person? Why can't I get them off my brain? Why am I obsessed with them? Like, what the heck is going on? This is crazy. And I do wonder with the Map Maker of Destiny if there is an element of like a soul contract or something like that coming out. I actually want to shuffle some more cards. I forgot to pre-shuffle these, but we'll do a live shuffle of these cards because I'm getting told to use this. We got the Silver Waterfall. Oh, okay. Yeah. What? Sorry. This is getting all messy. The Gardener. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'll talk about that in 2 seconds. And we got self-respect reversed. That makes sense. And abundance. I don't know, maybe someone makes more money, maybe you make more money. I feel like this person, they wanted to be the gardener, and the gardener actually talks about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and the divine masculine's role of kind of taking care of the feminine. Then the feminine, you can see in this card, it's literally a woman in the trees, and the whole archetype or spiritual principle is that when the masculine kind of takes care of the feminine, she can bloom and become her highest self. So if this is a masculine you're asking about and you're a feminine, it would make a lot of sense because I feel like that's what they would like to do. That's what they would like to be, is they would like to be able to take care of you, to step towards you with this chivalrous vibe and be that kind of man of like, I look up to them so much. They're so amazing. They've helped me. Whereas instead, I feel like you kind of helped them, took care of them, looked after them. And I think that they're grateful for that, but it's almost like because you saw them at a low point or because you didn't see them maybe with as much money or having figured out their life. I don't know. I'm seeing someone like pay for something, like give their credit card at the last minute. Like I'm seeing literally a scenario in my mind where, someone's paying for something and their card gets declined and someone else is like, "No, no, I got this," and like brings their card in and pays for it. And like obviously, even though that's so kind of the person, who does that, there's always going to be that element of like embarrassment. Like even if it's a stranger, it's probably going to be really embarrassing to have someone just offer to pay for you. And I feel like in considering how much they look up to you and they see you as this like goddess or god type figure, it's like, wow, I can't believe they saw me at this low point. I can't believe they saw me um making a fool of myself is what's coming through. And this is coming out kind of like gendered, which sometimes the readings do, because I think just, you know, being in your masculine, feminine, it's going to affect things differently. So if you are a masculine watching this about the feminine, this could totally be flipped. Or it could be that they just, again, are still embarrassed because they look up to you. They feel like you have your life together. And even though maybe they didn't feel the pressure to like pay for things or whatever, I know it's different, men and women, how the kind of pressure we feel in relationships, but they still might be saying that they just felt like you were so much better than them and they're embarrassed at that stage they were in their life. And it's like we all want to have a high healthy self-esteem, right? We all want to make a good impression in front of our partner. None of us want to look like a clown in front of anyone, let alone someone we really love and care about. So I feel like this person just felt that way. Like this person has seen me at my lowest, and I love how like compassionate they were and how kind they were, but at the same time I'm so embarrassed. Like I just feel so I just feel like have seen me at my worst, and it's just like embarrassing to me. You know what I mean? And it's like, what I'm literally getting the picture of is like the image of someone posts like a really unflattering photo on Instagram or something. Like if you've ever been tagged in a really unflattering photo and you see it, like maybe you go out and you're like drinking and having fun with friends, and then you see the photo someone posts the next night and you're like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, I look so bad. And you're like embarrassed. And that's literally the feeling I'm getting, is like just like almost humiliation or something. It's really intense actually. Let me get some songs for pile 2 for the vibe of this relationship. Sweet Talkin' Woman, Electric Light Orchestra. I love that song. Death by a Thousand Cuts, Taylor Swift. Okay. Just Say Yes, Snow Patrol. How do they feel towards pile 2? Can't Deny My Love, Brandon Flowers. That's really interesting. Money, Power, Glory, Lana Del Rey. So this money emphasis as well. And then we got 2, Never Get You Right, Brandon Flowers, and Unchained Melody, Righteous Brothers. Now these are really interesting songs because the 2 Brandon Flowers songs are both about someone who's at a low point in a relationship, and actually it's about his wife going through a really hard time. I guess she had depression or something like that, and he was like writing these songs for her while she was depressed and trying to make her feel better. So like I said, this can happen with divine feminine towards divine masculine as well, so I think that there's this emphasis that somehow you've seen them at their worst, that you have seen a low version of them and them feeling bad, and that you were very compassionate and loving towards them and sweet towards them. And, we got Sweet Talking Woman. I feel like you guys are good with your words. You've been kind, you've been compassionate, you've been loving, and they so appreciate that. But it's almost like I have shame because I looked like an idiot. I didn't act right, or I can never measure up to you in some way. So I mean, it's a general reading. For some of you guys, I'm getting the vibe that this was a really intense relationship. But if this was just a crush as well, it could just be that maybe they made a fool of themselves in front of you, said something stupid, looked stupid at school or at work or whatever. And I feel like they have a lot of internal pain. I'm literally feeling pain in my heart, in the heart chakra. So I feel that there's a lot of embarrassment. Maybe they don't have enough money, that keeps coming through. And it's like they're talking about their pain with the Death by a Thousand Cuts. It's like it was incredibly painful for them, I think, to not even to leave you behind, because usually the pain comes at the breakup point. But actually, I think the pain for them, a lot of it was about the actual relationship. Like once you guys started talking, it was like, oh my God, like I'm such a mess. I'm such a disaster. And honestly, I always mention this to people, but like, I feel like everyone has like maybe, a celebrity or someone they have a crush on that they're like, oh, they're so cute. And as much as you might fantasize about that person or that thing, well, not a thing. I mean, I guess you could have a crush on a thing, but like a person usually. It'd be weird if you had a crush on like a stapler, but no judgment, but just saying. But if you actually imagine like that celebrity, for some reason, like sliding into your DMs or hitting you up, or you bumping into them in a coffee shop and them asking you out, like as much as you might have been like, oh, that would be awesome. I'm sure once it really happened, you'd be like, oh my God, like my apartment's a mess. They live in a mansion. I drive this, or I live here, or I look like this, or any physical flaws you might have been like, well, I don't really like this on my body, but it's okay. You're suddenly going to be so self-conscious about it once the idea of them really dating you and knowing you becomes a reality. You know what I mean? So I just bring that up because I feel like because they had such a high self-esteem towards you, they respect and revere you so much that it brought out all these hidden insecurities that may not have come up with other relationships. Like maybe when they were dating someone else, they still had these insecurities, but they were able to kind of brush it off because their feelings weren't so invested. Whereas with you, I just feel like it's like their heart was in this, and they really care what you think of them. And so it's like, dang, why did I have to be such a idiot? And I don't know what they did. I don't know what this is, but I just feel like there's a lot of sad, low self-esteem energy coming through. So let me get some more cards for you guys. So we got woman holding a coin. Okay, this money emphasis keeps coming out. Goddess of the moon, magician and the mirror, contract reversed, and door to value. So a lot of money emphasis. I sometimes shuffle the cards and then I oftentimes kind of blank out on them as I'm channeling. So I'm always just as surprised as you guys when we see them again. Not always, but but a lot of the time. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know if you guys made more money than them, or they just felt like they would have to have money to date someone like you, or there was someone else in this situation who had money. Like I'm getting, maybe for some of you guys this was a third party, someone else who was interested in you, but this third party had more money. I feel like you guys do have a spiritual component to you with Goddess of the Moon and Magician in the Mirror. Maybe you guys, watch tarot or do tarot yourselves, do metaphysical work, meditate, all of that jazz. I feel like you guys are kind of intuitive. And I could also see a Queen of Cups or water energy. And we did get a lot of water energy coming through with you guys, where maybe you guys are very compassionate and sweet and loving and like nurturing to them. And the Queen of Wands can have that energy for sure too. I mean, all the Queen cards and definitely the Empress. So yeah, there's like a motherly quality to you. And I feel like you guys were nurturing and helped them in many ways. And you saw the best in them. It's almost like you weren't not attracted to them because of their vulnerability. You were attracted to them because of their vulnerability, if that makes sense. So it didn't turn you off that they were vulnerable or that they had problems. If anything, you were like, you love that. I feel like you guys have an innate motherly quality, many of you, or if you're a guy, a fatherly or or just caretaking energy. Like you were like, no, I don't mind that you don't have money right now, or I don't mind that you're struggling right now, or that you have these emotional issues. I'm fine with it. Like I see your flaws. I love them. As they say, or Rumi said, the wound is where the light comes in, and it's so true. And a lot of times someone's imperfections, like make you love them. Like my favorite dog that we ever had, she's so feisty and she's literally crazy, and that's what I love about her. Is like she is the craziest little dog ever. She will like bark and bite at anyone except me. She never bit me even when she first met me, but she bit other people when she first met them. But I loved the fact that she was like this tiny little unhinged little nutcase. I love that. Like that. I don't even mean to be rude or harsh saying that. Like to me, it's adorable. Like I love how feisty she is. I love her spirit, her energy, her fighting, mentality. And she's not like a crazy dog that like would bite anyone, but she just had bit a couple people. But she's not like a menace. We keep her like locked up. So just in case anyone's worried that she's like out biting children, definitely, absolutely not. But I just mean, well, she bit my sister. So anyway, But the point is I love how feisty she is, and I loved that spirit in her. And sometimes I think we get embarrassed about like the things about ourselves that we don't think is perfect, but actually those are the things that people love about us. They love our flaws. They love our little, obviously within reason. Like if your flaw is like you have anger issues and you smash people's items, then that's probably not something people are going to love about you. But if you have a little flaw that, I don't know, you talk too much, or you are shy, or are kind of like an airhead. A lot of times, those are the things that people actually will love about you and think is endearing. And I feel like this person they got very caught up in their own insecurities. They got very caught up in like, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb, and they're never gonna see me that way, or I've showed them my worst side of myself, and they don't realize that sometimes that's what happens with soulmate love or like twin flame type experiences. Is like, yeah, it is supposed to bring out your flaws. It is supposed to bring those things to the surface. And you do feel more naked and vulnerable in front of them than someone else, because they can see you clearly with a lot of psychic knowing, because they knew you in past lifetimes. So they can see down to your core and to your center in a way that no one else can, but they're not disgusted by it. They're not like, oh God, ew. They're like, oh, that's beautiful. I knew them in a past life and they were doing the same thing then. So they love those parts of us, but it's very hard sometimes to deal with that if you had like an invalidating family that made fun of you or made you feel bad about yourself, or you never took the time to build up that self-esteem in yourself. And so I just feel like this person was struggling with a lot of that. Let me get some more cards. So we got a bunch of reversals in this stack, actually. So we got growth, upright, surrender reversed, self-esteem reversed, freedom reversed. So like I said, a lot of reversals, and self-esteem is reversed. And I feel like this person has grown a lot from this relationship, and they're acknowledging that. Their kind of higher self is coming through to be very grateful to you for the growth they've gone through in this relationship, but also they are like, acknowledging that, it took a toll on their self-esteem. And sometimes that's the thing, is you might even immediately afterwards think like, wow, this has been really bad for me, because I just heard you ruined me in my mind, which is really intense and sad. But I almost feel like this person, maybe they went through a period where they kind of were mad at you or something, or like, angry at the universe of like, why did I have to experience this like relationship? Now I have self-esteem issues, or like all this stuff came to the surface and I just feel so bad about myself. But that's a lot of times a tower moment, is like understanding that what initially might seem bad or harsh or difficult is 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 actually long term going to make you so much better, and is going to improve your life a million times. But it's hard to have those things brought up, right? It's hard to have those things brought to the surface. It's hard to look at our flaws and genuinely know how to deal with them and see them brought out into the light and be like, oh yeah, I do have a fear of commitment, or oh yeah, I do procrastinate, or yeah, um I don't have my financial situation figured out, or whatever it is. And I just feel like it's almost like it took a hit on them and they ran from it. I feel like they ran away from their emotions. Maybe they focused on like, I want freedom. I don't want to be locked down or something, or whatever excuse they came up with. But I feel like that was them running away, and they didn't want to surrender to the intensity of the feelings, of the calling they felt towards you, of the emotion they felt pulled towards you with. So yeah, let me get some message cards for you guys. So we got, I want to protect you. And see, this is what I'm saying. This person wanted, okay, what did I say first thing? Four of Swords reversed. You guys definitely have a connection on the astral plane, and you got, I dream about you. You are so beautiful. I want to protect you. That's the thing, is they wanted to be like the man for you, or the protector, or they hate the fact that like you were more of that towards them. You know what I mean? Or that they were underneath you on a like they see you as being higher than them in some way. And they see you as so stunning, so gorgeous. It's like if you trip and fall randomly in the middle of like a random sidewalk and you don't know anyone around, you're probably going to be a little embarrassed and be like, oh, that was embarrassing. But if you trip and fall either on national television or in front of the person you have a huge crush on, you'll probably be so embarrassed. So I think it's just like, wow, I made a fool of myself. So yeah, they do dream about you. You guys probably connect on the astral plane a lot, maybe through music as well. I think about you all the time. I can't wait to start a family with you. Wow. I knew you in a past life. And we got my family loves you. You're my best friend. And we have the same sense of humor. So definite past life vibes, because I notice a lot of soulmates and stuff like that have the same sense of humor. But I feel like with family being brought up multiple times, I do feel like they might have had a difficult family situation, or an invalidating family, a family that didn't give them the love and the support that they needed. And so I think they're just acknowledging that maybe they've done some reflection and they see where they didn't, like, where this sabotage came from. You know what I mean? Like where I made a mistake and it was about this, or it was I needed to work on this stuff, and I acknowledge now I can see what it was. Because a lot of times when people get triggered, they will like push it back on someone else. You know, that's part of like doing learning and growth, is realizing that our triggers are within our own control, right? Like if someone triggers me, I could start screaming, or I can just be like, why am I triggered? Oh, this happened when I was a kid, and maybe it's even something small. You know, maybe I get triggered when it's time to eat dinner because there was some argument at dinner time, usually, or I'm just throwing out complete hypotheticals, but you know what I mean? And so it makes me anxious. And so it's important to kind of unearth like a trigger and to realize what it is and trace it back to whenever it happened, or what was the first time you felt this way, or you know, because a lot of times our triggers are so irrational. They're just based on like random stuff that happened during childhood and was a negative experience then, and then we get like fear associated with it. We make a pattern in our mind of like, every time they serve dinner, there's going to be an argument, so I hate dinner. And again, this is just a totally random example I made up. I'm always excited for dinner because I love to eat, but I think that, you know, we have to, it's up to us to trace our triggers. And I feel like you kind of brought some of that out for them, and now they're acknowledging that they made those mistakes. So let me get some more cards for you guys. So we got free yourself, unrequited love, getting to know each other, and heart-to-heart conversations. So I almost feel like this person felt like it was unrequited love. Like they were like, they could not feel the same way I feel about them. Maybe because also I feel, again, they see you as so much higher above them and so incredibly special, that it's just like they're not feeling the vibe the way I am. There's just no way. It's not possible, because I'm so intense about them and they're so amazing and special and perfect, that I just know that like they're not feeling it like that. And again, with the low self-esteem, you guys must have had really amazing conversations, because we have the same sense of humor, heart-to-heart conversations, getting to know each other. So I feel like when you guys would talk, it would like get deep quick. Like it was like other people would just be like, hi, getting to know you, like my name's this and my name's that. Oh cool, you're into anime. Well, oh nice, I watch this. And just like, you know, boring kind of stilted conversation. Whereas I feel like it would be like, I like anime. Oh, you do? Oh my God, I love anime because it stands for this, and I'm into this particular series, and it means, and to me, I think the theme of it is this. And like, oh my God, I completely agree. My fave is this, but I love it because they talk about XYZ. And you know, like there's a depth here. There's a intensity in conversation. So let me get some messages from this person. And free yourself. Maybe this person was very emphasizing freedom in their mind at the time, like I need to be free. Playfulness coming through again. Laughter is the best therapy. So you guys really must have made each other laugh. You guys really must have shared the same sense of humor. So that might be why you're like, why are they feeling so sad? Why did nothing happen? Our conversation was amazing. But I feel like it's like they they have a lot of their own issues that they have to work with. Honestly, some of these people might be struggling with mental issues that are way outside anything you could fix or change, something like anxiety or depression or another mental issue that just they're going to have to kind of deal with on their own. Again, it might trace back to childhood. And this is the final message we got. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And it's like, I think that you should know that them rejecting you is not like a reflection of you. It's a reflection of their own issues and stuff they're going to have to deal with, again, probably in therapy or something like that. Um, yeah, this is stuff that like goes very deep, and it's nothing to do with you. And it also had nothing to do with their attractiveness to you. Like, they were so attracted and drawn to you, and they thought you were just so beautiful. So I just think you guys should know that it's almost like you did your job in triggering them, because sometimes that is what happens when there's a soul contract. Is you're supposed to come in and awaken those things and awaken their issues, and lead them to a healing journey so that they can fix these things, so they'll be ready for the next relationship. Let me get some astrodice for you guys for this relationship pile too. So we got Leo, we got the fifth house, and we got Venus. So fifth house and Leo are the same thing, both ruled by the sun. And I do feel that, again, they see you as the sun, as the star, as just so beautiful, Queen of Wands, so sexy, like the center of attention and just gorgeous. And so you should know that. Maybe you didn't get that validation because they were too shy to tell you. Like, it's like, again, when you already feel insecure with someone, you don't want to like go on and seem like I'm hearing a simp, or seem like obsessed and be like, oh my God, you're freaking amazing. You might try to play it cool. And so maybe they never gave you that validation of how gorgeously attractive they find you, but they do. With Venus, I do feel like there was some deep love here and deep attraction. I want to get some more cards. And of course, that could relate to Libra and Taurus as well, if that resonates for you with having those signs, or if you have those signs, or they had those signs, or Venus Mars placements. Hidden depths, find balance, and that was reversed. Yeah, there was a lot of hidden stuff. Oh my gosh, healing. That's exactly it. And I was feeling so called to use this deck. I was like, why? Because this deck is usually very lighthearted. So I was like, I wonder why I'm feeling so called to pull some from this. And that makes sense, because I feel like there was a lot going on under the surface that you weren't aware of. So if you guys have been beating yourself up for this, or feeling like, oh my God, like I messed something up, or I didn't say something, or I can't believe I ruined this relationship, just know that it definitely wasn't you. It has everything to do with them and their healing issues and the stuff they are going through. And honestly, deep-seated stuff that, like I said, dates back to childhood or even past lifetimes. So it's not to do with you, to say the least. They, I think, are in this moment growing and working on themselves, and they found you so gorgeous, so attractive, with temptation coming out. Again, there's this heavy sexual interest coming out throughout the whole reading, um, but it's almost like that worked against you, because again, they were so intimidated because of how attracted they are to you. So let me get some final messages from pile two's person to pile two. We got turn on your heart light, reflect on a time when you experienced love, true love. Wow, this love is once in a lifetime. Be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care, and do something for someone. I feel like you guys were doing this. Like, that's what was going on. I love you. Wow. So, I'm almost hearing that their higher self is saying that, because their lower self, their human self, never could. They don't have the courage to tell you this. Again, they just see things as so lopsided between you, as them being this almost leech loser type of person that just has taken so much from you. And they're like, I know they would never be into me. I know it was one-sided. I know that they didn't really care about me, or like they never could with how I was acting. And so I think that their higher self is saying, like, we know everything you did for them. We see that. We appreciate it. And they did care about you. They want you to know that. And the love was really, really deep. So you should know that. And if they are in a healing journey themselves, that can take time. And it's a really intensive process. I think when I first went through my dark night of the soul to when it ended, I would say it was about 7 years, 6 years, 7 years. So it's really a long process. And when you're in that healing journey, it can be intense and things change. And maybe they're on that themselves and maybe they'll be able to step back to you afterwards. But I never would encourage someone to wait for someone who's on this healing path just because it can take a long time and you're often very transformed when you leave versus when you go into it. So I think for you guys, they acknowledge how much you've done for them. And if they never gave you that support, I feel like some of you guys worry about them because maybe they are still in a bad place or using drugs or drinking or something like that, numbing themselves. But I think that this is ultimately going to be positive. They are going to grow from this, and they do so appreciate everything you've done for them, and they really appreciate you for everything. So I really hope that helped. Pile 2, what an intense reading. Let me know in the comments what was going on here. I'm very curious. And make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up as well. And if you guys want to book a private reading with me or subscribe to my Patreon where I have my additional readings, you can find both those links in my bio on my Patreon. I get to post a little more of a fun set of readings, including my 18+ ones, which are just a little more fun than we're allowed on YouTube. And so definitely check that out if you guys would like to join us over there. And if you want a private reading, then, that's the link for that is in my bio too. And I can pull cards specifically for you. So anyway, with that being said, if you guys want to subscribe to my channel too, make sure you do that and have notifications on. I think that's all I have to mention. So I will see you guys in the next reading. I'm sending you so much love and light, and have an amazing day, guys, and take care. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So for your pick a card, you guys got view from above, get the big picture. And for your tarot, you got the 8 of Swords, the Lovers reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed, the World reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, the High Priestess, the Sun, and the 3 of Wands. So right away, I'm feeling this person was very much into you with the Lovers coming out reversed like that, the Sun and the World. They clearly thought the world of you and thought of you as this incredible dynamic force of nature. I am feeling like this person made some kind of art about you, whether it was painting or drawing or even writing fiction on like Wattpad or writing a song and putting it on SoundCloud or something like that. But I do feel like you really conjured and captured their imagination. So you inspired them to make some kind of art. I am feeling like this person is in a little bit of rejected energy. They are feeling a little bit low vibrational and like they are putting the blame on you. With the Queen of Cups coming out reversed like that, they are kind of telling me like, oh, they weren't compassionate. They didn't give me the kind of love and understanding that they should have. So I don't know what this is. We'll get into it more later. But with the High Priestess, they are saying that they see you as being very intuitive and like very psychic, and that you knew what was going on with them. You could read them like a book. You could tell their emotions. So it's kind of like they're saying they knew how I felt about them. They knew how much I cared, and they still didn't do it. They didn't act right with me. They didn't treat me right. With the 6 of Pentacles, they did put you up on a pedestal and revere you in some way. They do see you as being very powerful and above them on some level. And so I think this is where they're taking it to heart. It's almost like they're saying you were the one in the power position and that you didn't use it the way you should have, or something like that. With the 3 of Wands, they are talking about other people, competition, jealousy on their part, the fact that other people were interested in you and that you had a lot of options, and they're kind of upset about that. They're not bringing it up like, you go girl, you had all these people dating you. They feel like they are jealous of these other people that were interested in you, and it bothers them that anyone else would be around or looking at you. I feel like this person was very jealous, or it really bothered them that so many people had crushes on you or liked you and noticed you. And this person is, yeah, they're upset. This is not a positive feeling, to be honest. So let's get more cards. So we got the Altar Priestess, Preparation Prayer, Sacred Ritual, the Spiral Dancer, Circuitous Route, Perception, the Desert Prince, Survival, False Promises, High Lord of Gratitude and Service, and the High Lady of Love and Compassion. So many spiritual cards coming out. This person is acknowledging that you guys are very psychically gifted, and I feel like you guys might come off as a High Priestess energy. You might be a water sign, Scorpio or Pisces or Cancer, very intuitive, or you just might be someone who is involved in these things and like people can tell. Maybe you know about astrology and you'll offer to do someone's chart, or you pull tarot and you're like, hey, I could pull some cards for you, or you just give off that vibe. Maybe you are kind of like kitchen witch, cottagecore type of vibe, and I'm hearing Kitchen Witch by Ariel Pink. So I feel like you just have an energy about you that there's something mysterious and almost metaphysical or witchy or mysterious, and I feel like this person got that vibe from you, and they know subconsciously that you are intuitive, that you are psychic, and that you knew what was going on. You could read people like a book. You are very good at getting impressions of people, and so because of that, they're like, no, they could tell. They knew what was happening with me. They knew how much I cared, and this is why they feel so rejected. Even if they never directly presented you with an offer, they feel like you knew intuitively because you're so smart. It's kind of like that thing where um when you know someone like speaks your language or something, but for some reason, they're like, oh, I don't understand what you're saying. Or you're like, they're like, yeah, I don't get, you're trying to explain something to them and they're like, huh, that doesn't make sense. And you're like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm getting across. There's something here where like they feel like you knew what they were saying to you, you knew how they were feeling, but you rejected them, and they're upset about it. They're definitely all up in their feelings, feeling bad about themselves. I feel like you guys are very sweet, compassionate to others, and so they're saying that that has given you a lot of other attention from people who would like to date you, because you would be like a really good girlfriend or boyfriend because of your kindness, your compassion, your sweetheart. And so a lot of people present you with offers, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of competition for your attention, and they don't like that. They are not happy about that, and they're not okay with it. And they are a little bit possessive of you, even though I'm not getting the vibe that all of you guys were in a serious relationship with this person. Um, Even if it was just a crush, they're like, yeah, they shouldn't have been talking to anyone else because they knew how I felt. Let me get some songs for pile 3 and see what the vibe is. What was the vibe, and how does pile 3's person feel towards them? So we got, it's all coming back to me now. Wow, intense feelings. Teenage Dream, Katy Perry, very intense. Alien Days, MGMT. Harley's in Hawaii, Katy Perry. Okay, maybe someone's a Katy Perry fan. I think those are I don't know if I have any other songs from her. The Heart Wants What It Wants by Selena Gomez. Okay, so they felt very strongly towards you. And I Want to Be Yours, Arctic Monkeys. Wow. So yeah, their feelings are really, really strong. And with the Lovers coming out reversed like that, I think this person took a really long time to get, and we got 1,000 Years by Katy Perry. That one was by Christina Perry. That one was falling out of the deck, so I had to pull it out. But yeah, I can see from these songs that this person probably still isn't over this, and probably still, imagines seeing your face, imagines running into you. When you're so into someone, maybe in an early stage of a crush or after the breakup, and you kind of like, you see someone that vaguely resembles them from behind, and you're like, oh my God, it's them. Then the person turns around and you're like, they don't look anything like them. And like, what am I even doing? I feel like that's how this person felt towards you, is like, you were in their mind all the time and they had deep emotions to you. Some of you guys might have been in a serious relationship with them, because the heartbreak is coming through really, really strong. And I'm getting that you have kind of an alien vibe. You might have a strong Aquarius vibe as well. But I think this is the same vibe of the High Priestess, the Altar Priestess, and all these cards we've gotten, where you guys are kind of here, you're present, but you're also kind of halfway on the astral plane. There's a strong Neptunian or Uranian quality about you guys, where you come off as someone who is human, but may be very wise and have lived many lifetimes and has a lot of esoteric, deep spiritual knowledge. And so I think because of that, they almost had like higher standards for you. They know that you could tell what they were thinking and feeling and what was going on in their head. And I think I think because of that, it's like they feel that you rejected them. Even if they never told you the extent of their feelings, they're like, they knew what I was doing and they knew how I felt. So in their mind, it's like they basically proposed marriage to you and you rejected them, because that's how they feel you were so perceptive. You were able to pick up on the intensity of their emotions. So it's like they basically feel like, have you ever seen one of those videos of someone rejecting a proposal and it's so awkward? That's how they feel. They see you as just like this prize that they will never find anyone else like you with view from above. It's like I waited and I was searching for someone like this. And I feel like they have a quality that's a little alien-esque too, where they seem a little like they're different, or they have an esoteric knowledge, or they are also either Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or maybe Aquarius. But there's something about them that just seems other, like from another realm, And so I think that's why they were like, oh my God, I finally found someone who understands me, and who not only understands me, but even knows more than me. And I feel like for some of them, they actually didn't tell you their emotions with the Eight of Swords. And maybe they regret that. Maybe they look back now and they're like, I really made that as a mistake. But I feel they're in that energy of blaming you, being angry at you, kind of like, they should have known. Well, they knew what I was saying. No, they knew, like, and they don't really want to take full responsibility. So even if they do feel bad about it, it's not like they are saying like, yeah, I totally messed up. It's like they're like, yeah, I messed up, but they did this. So they're definitely blaming, and they're definitely pretty unhappy. Let me get some more cards for pile 3. So we got all tied up, reversed, envy, reverse, door to romance, and financial constraints. So again, with this envy coming through that I'm picking up on is like, I'm hearing, I hate like seeing you talk to anyone else. I don't know if you guys talk to someone else in front of them or something. I'm seeing someone literally talking to another person, and almost like even if the conversation wasn't flirty, they can't stand to have you talking or being around anyone else or even looking at someone else, because I think that was the intensity of their emotion towards you. If they could, they probably would tie you up and like lock you in a room somewhere. I know that sounds really creepy. I don't mean it to be that creepy, but it's just like they want to be like you are only around them, because like I think that's how much they liked you, is like they're so afraid that you're gonna see someone else and like lose interest in them. And they see you again as such a beautiful prize that they're just like, yeah, I know everyone's going to flirt with them. I know they have so many offers and opportunities from others. And it's not really something they're excited about. I feel like, in a way they're proud of like how much attention you command, but really they would be interested in you if no one else was into you. They don't care about getting approval from anyone else. And so it kind of irks them when all these people are lined up talking to you. I'm hearing you don't even know them. So they're saying something like, they can't even, it's like they're outraged that these other people are trying to talk to you, because they're like, excuse me, we have a soul connection. Like, you don't even know them the way I know them. Okay. Nothing you have with them will ever compare to what we have. It's that deep. So, I feel like this is why they get irritated with the other people that are trying to date you. Or maybe if you have like an Instagram and you post a photo of yourself and you have like someone commenting like, oh, that's hot, or like heart eyes emoji or something, that's like a member of the opposite sex or whatever, that they would be like very possessive and very angry. They definitely imagined having like a very deep romance with you. And I do feel like another aspect of this is maybe feeling like they don't have enough money, or like they're not in the best financial situation yet. It's not coming through. Well, with the Six of Pentacles, that can definitely be a part to play. So, especially with it coming out reversed like that, it could indicate that you make more money than them, or you have some kind of power over them. Maybe you pay them, or you're like their boss, or I don't know, it would generally indicate an unbalanced relationship where someone is giving more than the other. And I feel like in the context of this and all the other cards, there is this comparison of like, wow, they're so amazing and I'm lacking and I only have this. But there's a lot of anger coming through, if I'm honest. It feels very heated and passionate. It's not like they're like in a Hulk rage, like ready to fight, but kind of like I feel like they'd be ready to fight their romantic rivals. I'm not saying they would be angry towards you, but it's a lot of anger towards like, I don't know if this is a third party or romantic rivals, but they're very possessive of you. And then there's a little anger towards you too, of like, why were you even talking to them, you know? But I do feel like, you know, it's also this passion. It's kind of like inextricable from the passion they feel towards you and how they are very sexually drawn to you and very sexually attracted to you. So I feel like they would be very intense in the bedroom. I'm not going to really get into that because, you know, it's YouTube. We got to keep it PG. I do have my 18 plus readings up on Patreon if you want to watch what are their fantasies, where we can actually go into all that kind of talk, but that's on my Patreon, so check the link in my bio if you want to watch those. But we got to keep it PG over here, but they do have those fantasies, and that desire is coming through a lot through these readings. Like it's like wow, I can't even say anything I'm hearing. You'd have to watch my 18 plus readings, because but I'll just say that they would be very energetic in the bedroom towards you, and they have a lot of thoughts about that. So, well, we can't turn it into that. So let's get some other messages. Okay. What else does this person want to say? You're my best friend. Oh, and this is where I think they think that they can't believe other people would have the audacity to talk to you, because they're like, excuse me, we have this connection. We're like this. And who the hell are you? You know, you're a clown trying to talk to them when you don't even have this connection we have. And another thing on that same tip, you're my adventure partner. And then I can't wait to start a family with you. I was searching for you for so long. You're my favorite person. I'm telling you, they really are like your biggest fan. Why did all these fly out? I don't know if I'm going to take these because there are too many. I so respect everything you've earned in your life. So maybe you guys have accomplished a lot, and this is why we got Six of Pentacles, financial constraints. Your body is incredible. I love our serious conversations. I know you've been hurt in the past. Again, with your body is incredible. They're very physically attracted. It just keeps coming up as like the level of sexual interest they have in you. It's very intense. I want to travel the world with you. So it's like they really want to spend time with you, and I feel like they enjoy you. I keep getting the vibe of like competing for attention. Like it's like I feel like they feel almost like a fan. You know how like you'll see footage of, you know, a celebrity leaving like their concert or like a venue, and there's like their fans waiting outside, maybe with things they want them to autograph or whatever. And there's like, it's like you'll see the fans just start desperately shouting out, like, please come sign this, or like, hi, like whatever their name is, just screaming their name. And I almost feel like that's the vibe. Like it's like they feel like you don't pay enough attention to them, and that it's like, what more can I do to get this person's attention? I've done everything, I've tried everything. They're supposed to be with me, they're supposed to pick me, they're not supposed to be anyone else even in the running for this. Like what we have is so special, so different, so important. How could they be talking to anyone else other than me when we're destined to be together? They just feel like you guys have this depth of connection, this intensity of unspoken things between you guys. I do feel like also with the high priest and so much of this spiritual energy, something that's coming through is that you guys have a very strong connection on the astral plane. You probably might have even had visions, especially you guys, because I get you guys are pretty psychic from what they're saying. If what they're saying is true, you might have had visions of them or indications that they were going to come to you before they did. So maybe like you had a dream of them and then 6 months later they showed up or something like that, because I feel that you have a very strong connection on the astral plane. Maybe you'll be driving along in your car and suddenly it's like, has the radio been like taken over by them, because suddenly it's just songs that remind you of them. I mean, all the songs that came through in the song reading were so intense, so emotional, and I feel like they might play songs that you guys listen to together or that remind you of them, or just songs that, you know, they might have played for you or something like that. But it feels very strongly that they have a connection with you on the astral plane. And I just heard Never going to give you up by the Black Keys. So it's like, I'm not going to let you go, and I'm not going to let you move on with someone else. I'm not going to let you go date someone new because I still have feelings for you. What we have is more important than that, and I don't really care what you say. That's what I'm hearing in my mind, is just this like, I don't care if you try to move on because you're never going to get away from me. I'm going to badger you up on the astral plane. So maybe if you're like, oh my God, like I'm sick of hearing from this person, it's like that's probably why you can't stop thinking about them, is like they actively don't want to let you move on. They don't want to see you with someone else. They're not okay with it. And that's that, that's how they feel. They feel very scorpionic. So it'll be interesting to see what the astro dice say. So we also got love reversed. We got discipline reversed, health reversed, and perseverance. So they definitely have a lot of perseverance when it comes to you. I didn't even look at these cards before I was saying they're not going to give you up, but like perseverance is a perfect word for it. They are going to persevere and keep pursuing you no matter what. And it's like, I feel like, they're not interested in like what you say is like healthy. Like if you're like, well, this is unhealthy, maybe even there was something like that in the relationship where like you were breaking it off and you said something like, this is not healthy what we have, or like it's time for you to move on, like we can't keep getting back together and breaking up, or like there's a lack of like stability in this relationship. There's an intensity that's a lot more that might be seeming a little unhealthy to some people. Like it might be like, oh my God, you guys are like obsessed with each other, and it's a little too much. Like you need to chill with this. But they're like, I don't care about healthy. I don't want healthy. I don't want boring. I want intensity. I want obsession. I don't care about being disciplined and being like, hi, sweetheart, how are you? Let's talk about this with our therapist. Not mocking that or making fun of it, but that I'm just channeling how they would say it, is like, no, I want this intensity. I want this passion. And almost like, I don't know if you guys ran from it or you guys sabotaged it, but maybe you were like, yeah, this is not healthy. And like, I want a relationship that's calm. But it's like, they are like, I want this heat. I want you because I never felt this way with anyone else. And I've been looking for it for a really long time, and I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to find just a boring relationship that is quote unquote healthy and stable and calm. I don't want that. I want this passion and this heat and like this almost fighting energy. Um, yeah, they like the fire that you guys have for each other. They like or that they have for you, especially. Um, and maybe you were like, well, this isn't good love, this is like crazy, and they're like, well, this is, I almost feel like they're almost, I want to say a little angry, or they're kind of like, fine, then it's not love, but it's passion, and I'm still going to be with you. I don't care, you can call it what you want, but to me this is like, this is, if you don't want it to be love, fine, then don't call it love, but I'm not going to leave you alone. You know what I mean? It's very passionate and intense. And yeah, let me get some more cards. How does pile 3 view, pile three's person view pile 3? How do they think and feel about them? Maturity, self-respect. Okay. I do think you guys are probably more mature than them. As I mentioned, 6 of Pentacles reversed, so they see you as a little bit above them. How do they see pile 3? We got intimacy. Like I said, they are definitely fantasizing about sleeping with you, intimacy with you, and all of that. I just heard the line when we pulled the garden. I just heard the line from Ivy by Taylor Swift when she said, my house of stone, your ivy grows, and now I'm covered in you. So wow, that just came through so loud to me. But I heard your garden grows, but the lyrics are your ivy grows, aka if you can imagine like a stone house, like completely just plain old stone house, and then like ivy is a vine that will like grow really rapidly and really fast. I love it. It's so beautiful, but it does, apparently it can like be bad for the foundation or something, I don't know, but it will cover that house, and like, so it's just suddenly covered in these green vines. And that's what I'm hearing. The image is like I think that's what this person wants to do to you, and also kind of what you've done to them. Like, it's like, I can't stop thinking about you, so you shouldn't be able to stop thinking about me. And maybe like you tried to walk away with respect, and they're like, you're not going anywhere. I'm going to bother you in the astral plane. I'm going to be hovering over you like in this card, and just keeping to come back into your mind no matter how much you might try to go away. And if you block me out consciously, I'll come into your songs, I'll invade your music, I'll come into your dreams. Um, but I feel like they just see you, yeah, as very much above them, and also as they are compatible with you. Like, I have a connection with them that supersedes whatever you might say, whatever other people might think. And it's like they're saying, like, you know, that you know what we have is special, you know it, and you're running from me, instead of you being like, yeah, I am in love with you. So honestly, they're kind of putting the blame on you, and they're saying you were the runner, you ran from them. So, I mean, I'm just the messenger, but maybe some of you guys, I don't know, have a fear of intimacy. I'm totally not judging. I have an Aries Venus, so like, I can get it, I can understand, but I just feel like maybe some of you guys do have a fear of intimacy, or maybe you were the one that was like putting the brakes on things, and they were the one that was all in. And maybe sometimes I think when people have a fear of intimacy, they'll sabotage, so they'll almost find a reason for a breakup. Like, they'll be like, you know what? No, you didn't call me, and I was texting you for a couple hours. That's it. It's over. And it's like they'll blow up a small thing, and like maybe that is a legitimate issue sometimes, but they'll take something that could be worked through, and they'll just be like, no, 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 I need to have some self-respect, so I'm ending this. And it's really what it is. It's like that fear of like getting deep down into the emotions. And I feel like that's what they're saying. So again, I'm just the messenger. Maybe you're like, no, that's not true, I'm not that way, and that's fine. But I just have to relay what they are telling me and how they view the situation. But they definitely fantasize about being with you, like, romantically. This is very lower chakra energy, but it's honestly all the chakras. But I definitely feel that they're very turned on by you. So you might watch my little 18 plus readings over on Patreon, because I think you guys would get a juicy reading, to be honest. But yeah, they're very attracted, and I think they spend a lot of time thinking about that. Yeah, I'm getting so many messages with that. Like, this is making me want to turn this into an 18 plus reading, but I promised myself I would not say anything risque on YouTube. So you got to go over there, guys, if you want to see that. But I just have so much coming to my mind. I hate when they do this on YouTube. Like, I'm just like, please let me give a freaking normal PG reading. Stop coming into my mind with these crazy messages. But anyway, so we're blocking that out. We are refocusing them, but they are very attracted to you. That's what I'll say. So, yeah, I think that they think of you a lot in that way, in that romantic way, and you might suddenly feel thoughts of them late at night and stuff. And yeah, can't get too much into it, but let's get some astrodice. Let's change the subject. Let's get some astrodice. Okay, so we got Mercury, 7th house, and we got Capricorn. So that's interesting, because Saturn is an energy that is about obstacles, discipline, boundaries, and with all tied up, like I said, there's this thing about them where I almost feel like they want to tie you up. I can't talk too much about this. I'm telling you guys, you really might want to check out my 18 plus reading, because I'm just getting, this is like crazy to me, and it's making me blush, and I can't talk about it. But this is what's coming up, is like this a lot of desire to kind of like lock you up alone in a room, and I can't get too much into it. I'm sorry, guys. Let's just move on. Okay, 7th house, definitely a house of love. Also Libra, it relates to Libra. It's ruled by Venus, so it is a house of love. Libra is also about the scales. And so again, with this energy that things are out of balance or out of whack, or that you guys try to come off as very like, I don't know, very well behaved, like kind of disciplined, like maybe you come off, and this is also Capricorn energy for sure. Capricorn people, it's generally all, You will never see a Capricorn person really acting a fool, like when they have strong Capricorn placements, because they just can't let themselves go off the rails like that. They have an innate dignity, and Libra is kind of like that in a different way, but very dignified, both of those signs. And so I feel like you guys carry yourselves with a lot of dignity, and it's almost like they're saying, I see beyond that. I see the other side of you, this passionate side of you that you might try to hide from other people. And you might put on this very charming, very together, very balanced, like very almost, I want to say, I'm trying to keep this PG, you guys, non-sexual type of persona. And I see the side of you that you hide. I know your hidden desires, and I feel this heat with you, and I see this aspect of you that no one else gets to see. And I don't want them to get to see it, but I see it. I see what we could have together that's so heated and so passionate. And you try to seem very unruffled and very like together, and very like, I'm, just a mom, or I'm just a student, or I'm just very dignified, and oh, me, I just am very regal, and I behave myself. And they're like, no, I see beyond that. I see this potential. And then we have Mercury that rules over Gemini, Virgo. So the signs here would be Capricorn, Libra, and Gemini and Virgo. So you guys might have those placements. Virgo's also got that dignified type of energy a little bit too. Not so much Gemini. I love Geminis though. They're one of my favorite signs, like period. I love Geminis. But I'm just saying, like, Geminis can sometimes act a little bit of a fool, but that's why we love them. I love the signs that, they say what's on their minds and they don't try to hold back. But yeah, so anyway, I just feel like you guys, do communicate on the astral plane. There is this communication aspect, and I feel like they would like to reach out and talk to you now as well. Let me get some more cards. So let's see what Spirit has to say about this situation. Wow, you guys definitely have a connection on the astral plane with stargazing and fairy spotting. Transformation reversed. Stargazing, ask for help. Let me get one more card. Tree wisdom. So again, they're saying that, wow, and music. Okay, so like I was saying, they connect with you through music, and I think they connect with you a lot on the astral plane, and they're like, I know you get these messages. I know you understand what's going on, what I'm feeling for you, what I'm telling you on the astral plane. I know you pick up on it. I know you're so wise, and you know what I'm thinking and feeling towards you, and why are you ignoring me, kind of a thing. Because it's like, I know that you know what I'm saying to you. You understand it. And so don't try to lie from me. Don't hide from me. I know you. That's just the message I keep getting from them. Let me get some message cards for pile 3. What is this? I love you. Oh my God. Okay, wow. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. See, they're saying like you try to present yourself a certain way, and they see the potential in you that's so much more than that. Romance, express love through gifts. I feel like they're saying, if you would get to be with me, I would do everything for you. And this was, I just felt called. That was the other card I was holding, and I felt called to look at it, and it says treasure your loved ones. They're saying like, if you were with me, I would treat you amazingly. I would do everything for you, and you know it. And no one else can compare to how I feel towards you, how I would treat you, how I would take care of you, what I would do for you. No one else would ever feel that's not possible for them to feel the same feelings I feel. That's how deep it is. And if you would give me a chance and be with me, I would do whatever, and I would like worship you. And I literally feel like bodily wise, again, they're thinking about like giving you the best time in the bedroom of your life. Like I would give you multiple amazing experiences. Really trying to keep it PG. And you would I would blow you away, Oh my God. No pun intended. But anyway, they just are saying that they see this other side of you, this potential in you. Let me get some final cards from this deck. They keep turning everything into like something X-rated. I'm like, oh my God, please just let me get through this reading. Stop. Okay, we got reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith. that it will work out for the best. Look deep within my heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. That message is hitting hard for me from them. And look what it ended up on. Like, I didn't even know this was there, this topless lady. Um, a message for you. I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. So they want you to know how much they feel for you. I'm telling you, there's a lot of intensity here. It's not just sexual, but there is that component. And I think sometimes, especially Scorpio placements, or strong Pluto placements, since it does rule the genitals, they tend to express love through sex, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's only about sex for them. A lot of Scorpio placements can be very choosy about how they have sex, who they have sex with, to be honest. Although some of them, debilitated, can be non choosy at all. But a lot of them, people might be like, oh, they just care about sex. It's like, no, that's how they express their love. But it's not just about sex, but that's oftentimes how they'll communicate it, or the vehicle with which they will let you know how much they care. And I feel like this person, so I don't want you to think because they kept bringing up sexual stuff that that's all they care about. Their love for you is, as they said, as deep as the ocean. It is overwhelming for them, and they are not giving up on you anytime soon. They are still so plugged into you, fixated on you. You are like the only one they see. So yeah, this is so intense, so beautiful, and this is a lot. So definitely you guys should maybe check out my 18 plus reading on Patreon, this group in particular, because wow, this is just I'm kind of blushing because it was a lot to tap into, you guys. And I'll really try to keep it PG, but they were making it difficult. So check that out if you guys want to see that. Link for that is in my bio. I have a couple up like that. So definitely let me know what was happening with this in the comments, because I want to know. I would watch this movie. Like, this is like a good juicy soap opera to me. Whatever's going on here, I don't know, but I would like read a novel about it or watch a movie. This is kind of a juicy situation. So let me know what was happening in the comments, and also make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up, turn on those notifications, that bell icon, click that, and make sure you're subscribed. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye. Hey Pal 4, so for your pick a card, you guys got Embracing, and for your tarot, you got the Ace of Cups, Page of Swords reversed, Page of Wands, Temperance, Three of Swords, Seven of Cups, the Tower, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. So I can see that your person still has every intention of coming back towards you. If you guys broke up or this was a breakup, it doesn't seem like they realize that, because from what I'm hearing from them is that they still think that this is an active and ongoing thing. So for a lot of you guys, this might be a crush or a relationship that's ongoing, because I'm not getting the vibe for them that they are in any way like, oh, it's over, it's done. They're like, I am going to be coming back to this person and I am going to be turning on the charm. I still feel like they have every interest of stepping back towards you and still being very excited by you, turned on and intrigued by you guys. It doesn't feel to me like it got to a point in the relationship where things felt old and dowdy and stayed and just kind of like, we've had all the discussions, we've talked about everything we can talk about, okay, we're kind of bored with each other. I'm still getting a lot of active interest in you and a lot of active desire that reminds me of those early beginning stages of the relationship where someone is thinking about a person all the time with the Seven of Cups, can't get you off their mind, and it doesn't feel like a completion moment yet. With the Nine of Wands, it's like, I'm almost there, I am going to be putting in the work until I get there, but I do feel like they really have enjoyed their conversations and their interactions with you. With the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups, they find you very intriguing. I feel like there's something quite mentally sharp about you guys. With the Three of Swords, you guys probably are great in conversation and stuff. They might even feel kind of dumb compared to you, is what I'm hearing, where I feel like your conversation that you have is very quick, fast, and on point. Maybe you guys might be Geminis, Gemini ascendants. It could also be Virgo, or just a really strong Mercury placement, maybe Mercury conjunct the Sun, Jupiter, the ascendants. I just feel like you guys, or you might have a Gemini Venus or something like that, where you guys are quick, flirtatious. You always know what to say. You always have a quip or like a funny word or something interesting. And I feel like this person is really invigorated by that. They're very desirous of you. They're very turned on by this. But I do feel like for some of them, they may be in a third party relationship, or maybe when they met you, they were in a third party, or they might be involved with someone else. I also am getting for some of you guys, there's a vibe of like a playboy or a playgirl, almost like someone who might have a lot of other romantic conquests, and they're thinking that you are going to dismiss them because of that, because they're kind of the page of wands. And so they're like, okay, they're not going to take me seriously. You know, they think I'm sleeping with everyone all over town. And even though their feelings for you are very strong, and I feel they've been thinking of you guys more than anyone else. So if this is a playboy or someone who is flirting it up with a lot of people, know that they think of you more than others. And you definitely stand out to them. So even if they do have other people they're talking in, I don't know, flirting with, but you are the number one in their mind that is like taking precedent over that. So I do feel like this person, like I said, they still have every intention of stepping towards you, of being with you, of making things happen between you guys. And I think they're kind of trying to strategize on how to do that. So let's get some more cards. So we got the Web Weaver, Synchronicity, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect, the High Lady of Love and Compassion, Reverence, Kindness, Consideration, the Dreamwalker, Dreams, the Collective Good, Illusions, and the Dragon's Duel, Inner Conflict, Morality, Conscious Choice, and finally the Spirit Whisper, or Divine Guidance, Higher Knowing. So there's something about you guys where I feel like they look up to you a little bit. I'm surprised we didn't get Queen of Cups coming out, or maybe the High Priestess, because I feel like there's something about you guys that is very like nurturing, sweet, divine, almost motherly. I could also see the Empress coming out for this, where when you talk to them, you might be encouraging, or there's something where they see you as being slightly above them, and they really like that about you. They are turned on by how intelligent you guys seem, and how you guys seem kind of like a little bit of a challenge to them. You don't seem like someone where you will fall for their usual tricks, and that they can use their usual game on you that they would use on every other person. Maybe they're very suave with everyone else, but with you, you're that kind of person where if they're telling a funny story, but you would be that person who's like, wait, what did you just say? Wait, but I thought you said that you arrived at 8, but then now you're saying you left at this, like, huh? You know what I mean? Like, just there's something smart about you and kind of challenging. Like, you're a challenge. You are not just won over easily by their little usual pickup lines or whatever they might use on other people. And I feel like they are very invigorated by that. But again, with this Dragon's Duel coming out, there may be a situation where they might be in a third party relationship or somehow connected to someone else, and where they would have to make this conscious choice to kind of leave this relationship behind to be with you. And I feel like that's something they might be struggling with or dealing with, is like, how do I manage this? What should I do? What's the pros and cons? Because I also don't feel like you guys seem like the type, and like, I don't know, I feel like maybe there was someone who's very devoted to them or something like that, or they have been with someone who's very devoted to them, and that's what they kind of are comfortable with, is like they're the big dog in the relationship. Whereas I feel like you guys are so intelligent, you have such high standards, that they wouldn't just be able to coast. Like I said, they'd have to put in some hard work, and I do feel like they're a little intimidated by that. I want to get some song cards for you guys in pile 4. Okay, so we got Teenage Dream, Katy Perry, Pillow Talk, Zayn. I Thought I Saw Your Face Today, She and Him, Blue Ain't Your Color, Keith Urban. Every Little Kiss, Bruce Hornsby. Okay, what's the vibe, the energy here? LDN, Lily Allen. Bruises, Chairlift, and A Sky Full of Stars, Coldplay. So I'm getting a lot of messages. I feel like, first of all, you guys might seem kind of cosmopolitan. I don't know if you guys grew up in like a big city, or wherever you live, where you live, whatever city or area or country where you're from seems kind of cosmopolitan or cool or like above things to a certain extent, but it's almost like they see you as being very cosmopolitan. Like, you are, even if you grew up in a small town, you might seem like someone who could be from like a big city or something like that. And I feel like they see you as just this glamorous, highly intelligent, very smart person. And again, they're invigorated by this. They're also a little bit intimidated by it, but they're also like turned on by it. Like, wow, this is like a really kind of intimidating and high level person, and like, dang, I got to put on my A game with them, you know. I feel like there's something about you guys that it's very sophisticated and they kind of look up to you in that sense. Like, again, you're not impressed by whatever they usually would trot out. If they, you know, maybe they thought their clothes were really cool until they met you and you have some really amazing fashion sense. And now they're like, dang, I need to like get a new wardrobe, or something like that. But there's something very sophisticated coming out. I'm also getting for a lot of you guys with bruises and blue ain't your color, there may be a vibe where you've been through some pain, or when you were talking to them, you talked to them about something painful, or you seemed stressed or off balance. And I feel like they were really invigorated by that. They liked that side of you because it's almost like you guys come off as so intimidating, so amazing, so up on a pedestal, and like you have everything figured out, that the fact that you were talking to them and whatever you were talking about, like maybe you were stressed or you just seemed in a bad mood that day, or, you know, something seemed wrong, like they're just like, wow, oh my God, I got to see this side of them. Like they are human. They're not this superhuman Wonder Woman or Wonder or Superman. They actually do have a side to them that like gets stressed out and has to figure things out. So if you are nervous about like, I can't believe I told them that, like, why did I tell them that I was dealing with XYZ? They loved it. They really liked that. And I'm almost hearing chink in the armor, or like, oh, that's my in. I could talk to them about that, and maybe they'll be more open. There's also this strong physical desire coming through, and your pick a card was embracing. So they definitely think very intensely about being with you in a physical sense, and sleeping with you, and having pillow talk with you, and getting to be with you, you know, physically and sexually. So they're very into you in that way. I also feel like, again, there's something very sweet and compassionate and loving about you guys. I almost feel like you have this tough exterior where you might be very like almost RBF or resting witch face, you know, or kind of tough to get to know at first, or come off as like, I don't want to talk to everyone, but once they talk to you, you're like so sweet, so nice, so open, so kind, that they're like, wow, I was so intimidated by this person, but they're like an angel, you know. And so I feel like that just invigorates them, that you have this duality to you that not everyone gets to see. And I'm sure that even with the person you're dating, they get even more access to that. They get even more of your loving energy, and I feel like that's something that they really, really love, because you guys feel like a caretaker. Like you are that kind of person that would like, I'm hearing bake muffins for your partner, or give them a gift or whatever. I mean, sometimes the divine masculine, divine feminine expresses their love differently, but I feel like however you guys are, you would express your love in such a caretaking, sweet, kind way. And so if you're divine masculine, maybe you would pay for things, or, you know, to be physically very protective. And if you're divine feminine, maybe you would like cook for them or look after them emotionally, and really, you know, try to create a soft energy, you know, whenever they come over to see you. Like, I just feel that there's something very loving and kind and warm about you guys, but not everyone gets to see that. And it's almost like it's a privilege to get to access that part of you, and they know that. And I do feel like this person may be a little bit of a playboy. They might be having a lot of people who are interested in dating them, or a playgirl, and it's almost like they're ready for a challenge. You know, it's kind of like once you've mastered, like I used to play, you know, Guitar Hero way back, and they, you know, once you mastered, it took me so long to master like level medium, and then I was like, yes, I did it. And then I was like, okay, what's next? I need to go to level high, which was like impossible for me, and I could never do like even one song on it. But you know, you get bored with just like the status quo. So I feel like for you guys, there is an emphasis on you, um you know, pushing them a little bit, or them being like attracted to the challenge you pose, that you are not just going to be satisfied with their usual games and lines, and whatever would work on someone else isn't necessarily going to work with you. So let's get some additional cards. So we got hostilities, door to romance, thinking man, man holding a heart, and fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which rules the throat chakra. So I do feel like this person's good with their words, and so are you. But that's the thing, is they're kind of a little bit of a smoothie. I feel like they always have a good line, but you guys are good with your words in a different way. I feel like you guys are smooth with your words, but you're also very highly intelligent in a way that they're not. I'm not saying they're an idiot, but I'm just saying, like, you see things very precisely and very sharply, and it's like they're like, wow. I mean, I'm good with my words, but wow, they're not just charismatic, but they're also like highly smart, and I really love that, and I'm invigorated, and I'm not just going to be the big talker in the relationship that everyone kind of looks at as like, wow, they're so charismatic, but like it's going to be like a power couple. It's going to be like both sides are bringing it. Both sides are bringing something to the table, and everyone's impressive, not just one side. So I think that they're really invigorated by that, and they do think of you a lot. They definitely spent a lot of their time thinking about you, ruminating about you. I'm hearing thinking about running into you or wanting to run into you. And I do feel with man holding a heart and door to romance that it's like they would be very open to dating you. If you guys broke up, I don't know. It just is not giving me breakup energy. Um, to be honest, I feel like they still see things as very active with you. And we also got the tower. And what's interesting about the tower is it can show kind of removal of masks or removal of something that you built that isn't stable. And I feel like there's something about your energy that you might be a tower energy in people's lives. You might have heavy Saturn or Pluto in your chart, or like I said, be a Scorpio. But it's like something where you guys come in and you might point to them like, this isn't working in your life. I'm hearing the line from Iggy Azalea where she said, change your life. And she said, once you go great, you never go good. You never go back, even if you could. And I'm almost feeling like this person was happy and contented with their life until they met you. Like they felt pretty pleased with themselves and like them doing little flirting with everyone and the person they're dating who's maybe not as smart as you, but like, whatever, it's fine. And now you make them realize like, dang, I want more than this. Like I feel like it's kind of like when you have filet mignon. I mean, not to be a snob, but maybe you won't go back to eating just like a cheap nasty ground beef burger. Like I hate, the low quality meat is so bad for you, to be honest, but I eat like organic and stuff, grass fed, so when you have that organic, grass fed, delicious filet mignon, you are not going to go back to eating some nasty little Frankenburger made of like mystery meat. You are going to want that amazing steak. So I feel like that's the vibe. Like you guys are that filet mignon that is like on a different level. And whereas before they were happy, now that they've had a taste of something else, it's like, oh, I can't go back to that. I feel like this person would definitely be very interested in having romance with you, but it's almost like there would be a lot of things they would have to work out, change in their life. They might have to like cut off their relationship or whatever. And it's almost like there's a competitive vibe with you. I don't know if there's other people that have been interested in you, but I feel like you guys are that type of energy that commands attention as soon as you walk into a room, and you probably have multiple people interested in you and wanting to date you. And I think there's a little hostility there where they're like, dang, okay, I gotta step up my game. And I don't know about this. Like, it's like, I don't think they were expecting. I feel like there's a fiery way you guys converse where, like, maybe they would say something to you and, like, make a little, like, joke at your expense or something, and you would say something back, and you'd have, like, a perfect zinger back, and then they'd be like, I wasn't expecting that. And then, like, they have a zinger, and then it's just like, back and forth. Let me get some additional cards. So we got denial, loneliness, judgment, guilt, and change. So I feel like this person is thinking about ending things or thinking about stepping towards you with whatever this situation is, where at first when they met you, they might still be in an energy, because this is a general reading, so different people are going to fall in different steps along this kind of path, but maybe where either they were initially in denial or trying to ignore it, or they currently are still doing that, where they're kind of like, no, I don't think about them all the time. I wonder what they're doing right now. So, okay, I wonder when I'm going to see them. Do you think I'll run into them today? No, I don't think about them ever. No, no, no. I mean, I don't even care, but I'm just wondering if I am going to see them. Maybe I would wear a different shirt. Like they are a little in denial, or they were at first. but I feel like meeting you has made them realize that they're kind of lonely. If they are having these short-term relationships or they're in another relationship, it's kind of made them realize that it's not fulfilling them. It's not filling their cup the way you could with your Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups energy. It's just not the same. And maybe they feel a little guilt about that in their relationship of like, this person is kind of dependent on me and this person kind of needs me and I really like that, but now suddenly I'm unhappy and like, oh God, what is happening? Um, yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of guilt going on and a little bit of like, am I doing the wrong thing? So let me get some more cards. I apologize if it's getting dark, you guys, but I wish it would stay bright later. So we got, you're my favorite person. You are so beautiful. I feel like you guys are just very physically beautiful. That's one of the reasons they're so attracted to you. We got, I so respect everything you've earned in my life. You're my adventure partner. I want to protect you. Your body is incredible. Okay, they like your body. I'm hearing some of you guys are insecure about your body, or you're like, oh, I didn't look really good, that last time or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, you looked amazing. We have the same sense of humor. That's what I'm getting is like you guys quip with each other and it's like back and forth fast, like kind of like, old school like 40s movies. Like what's that movie where it's like Clark Gable and they're on the side of the road? A night, something night. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. It happened one night where they're like kind of always insulting each other, but like in a funny way. Or like Gone with the Wind, how Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara are always like going head to head, but he likes that. That's why he could have any woman. That is such a good example because he could have any woman, but he's obsessed with her. And partially he's obsessed with her because she's so mean to him and because she's like so smart and she's not just going to be like satisfied with his little lines that he usually uses on everyone else. Like she's just a smart cookie and he really likes that. And I feel like that's the same vibe with you is like it's like almost arguing, but almost like as foreplay. It's like I like how you stand up to me or how you aren't impressed by me. Like that excites me, that turns me on. And I feel like you guys have achieved something in your life. Like this pile, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are my entrepreneurs or you own a business or you have achieved something and like you have some kind of a status because I do feel like they really respect that. And again, this is where they're like, I need to step it up because I feel like their current partner or partners just don't do that. Like they are not on the same level as you. So I want to shuffle some additional cards. How do they view pile 4? How do they view pile 4? So we got sexual freedom, but that's reversed. That came out reversed. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like they have had sexual freedom with others, but with you, and as I'm saying that, we got commitment came out. So I feel like I should interpret that as being reversed because it was like they were sexually free and they were dating around, but when they met you, now it's like I want commitment. It's like I want something more with this person. And you guys have very strong boundaries, and that's what I'm getting. Like you guys are not someone who is gonna be like, oh, that's fine. Oh, sure, like whatever. You're very sweet and loving, but you have these firm boundaries. I'm getting Capricorn ascendant vibes too. Or like I said, Scorpio ascendant, like just strong boundaries. Like I am not tolerating your BS. Or maybe even Aries or something like that. It's like you guys you know how to like tell someone no or like how to lay down the law, even though you're very friendly. I feel like you guys are that person that like you're not just gonna be easily impressed by some sleazeball. Like you're not going to be gullible like other people. You have a high standard of behavior for yourself and for others. Sorry guys, I had to turn on the light because I looked up at my camera and I was like, oh my God, it is so dark in here. But anyway, as I was saying, I feel like they are invigorated by the fact that you guys have some boundaries with them and that you guys aren't impressed by the usual BS. And I do feel like they imagine running into you randomly with serendipity coming out. I feel like it's something they really think about is like, hoping to see you when they leave the house, or maybe if you guys go to the same coffee shop, like, man, I hope they're here. Like, I just feel like that is on their mind a lot. And there's something very, I feel like either whether you're a masculine or a feminine, you're very divine masculine or divine feminine. You're very much in that energy, in that power, where if you're a divine masculine, you come off as very strong, protective, and very, wise in that way and like very disciplined. Like you have your responsibilities in life figured out. You are a protector, a provider. If you are a feminine, you come off as very receptive, very sweet and loving, and very, maybe even like psychic and very like high priestess type of empress energy, very Venus and very beautiful. So I feel that this is one of the reasons why they're so drawn into you and they could have anyone. It's because of your looks, but also because of this vibe you have. And I do feel like they think about running into you all the time. So let me get some message cards for you guys, or actually let me pull from the Fairy Oracle. I don't know what those were. Let's see. So we got new beginnings, pure intention, find balance. And I think the card I saw that had kind of flipped was moderation, which also makes sense for find balance, and the temperance card. Where I feel like you've inspired them to kind of make some self improvements. And almost like because you guys are so smart, maybe they're like, I need to read some more. Or maybe they think of you as the type to like always be reading or always be watching like really smart documentaries or something. I feel like, again, they just see you as so intelligent that they think about like they anticipate your conversations and like them getting to tell you something and you being like, oh my God, really? Wow, like they just find that to be like such a goal for them. They would be so jazzed and impressed with themselves if they could, bring out that kind of look of like being impressed and being in awe of them. Like they would just, oh my God, it would mean everything to them. I feel like there's also something very pure about you guys where you don't seem, if I'm going to be honest, you don't seem like you've slept around that much. Or if you have, like, you seem like you just still seem very pure, something about you. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, again, you're very protective of yourselves. You're not the type to just sleep with anyone and exchange that sexual energy with anyone. You are protective of your energy and you know how special you are. So you're like, no, like you're not good enough. And no. So I feel like they like that about you, that again, you're protective, you have high standards for yourself and for others, you're not impressed by any old person, and it's almost like a contrast to them because I don't feel like they're necessarily always been the same way. Maybe they were more open at one time. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you don't see them that way, then maybe not. But I just, and always like the energy can be flipped, but I feel that they very much see you as being pure on some level and being very almost dreamy, imaginative, creative, high priestess vibes. And so it's like they really like that you've kept kind of this very pure, almost childlike part of yourself. And they might come to you in your dreams. I do feel like there's some kind of reticence of like, what if we were in a relationship? How would that even work out though? Like, it's like, because I'd have to step my game up. I don't know. Like, it would be, I feel like I'm hearing you would be a lot of work. So it's almost like you have high standards and they'd have to step up to it. And I do feel like they would be a little intimidated by that. So maybe, we don't need to like lower our standards, but sometimes we can be more open to things or be like, I was a little too closed off. And so if you do get a message about that, like, don't be afraid to listen, and maybe be more open to things. Only for some of you guys if you feel that way. But I just feel like this person is mostly just really blown away by you. So let me get some astro dice for pile 4. So we got 5th house, we got the nodes, and we got Libra. Wow. So like I said, there's a very strong, well, I think I mentioned Gemini and Virgo, but Libra always reminds me of like a good communicator because they're just so smooth. Like they always know what to say, how to flirt. And this is strong Libra energy. Maybe they have some Libra placements. Leo, they could as well because that's 5th house. But, it's like, yeah, I feel like both of you guys are really good communicators. Both of you guys are very smooth and very attractive as well in your own ways. You're just very different in how you express it. One is much more like flirty with everyone, and the other is much more to themselves, but could have everyone, coming running if they wanted to. They could have everyone after them, and like they could be flirting with half the town if they wanted to. They just don't really want to. But they have just as many options, if not more. And the other one is more of that active flirting, active, like talking to different people and, flirting up a storm. So it's just, two sides of the same coin, but both are very attractive to a lot of people. Both have those options if they wanted them. And I feel like both of them are physically attractive because Libra is ruled by Venus. So again, both of you guys are physically very gorgeous, and I feel like attract attention in that way. Fifth house is ruled by Leo. Leo is also an energy that gets a lot of attention, of course. I always say, you know, the sun, the world literally does rotate around Leos because it's the sun. So it's always going to attract attention. It's always going to have eyes on them. But I almost feel like this person's maybe been used to being the center of attention, and they're kind of, maybe they thought they wanted that. Maybe they liked having partners that just couldn't really level up to them and would always look up to them like, oh, they're so funny, they're so amazing, they're so cute. And they always got to be the star in the relationship. But now they're like, oh, it's kind of cool to have someone else who's the star and who brings just as much to the table. And with the nodes, that's talking about destiny. So I feel like there's an aspect here of either this being destiny and you guys having a soulmate type of connection, or that this person has kind of rerouted their life or has started thinking about like, am I really happy with my life based on things you guys have shown them. So again, I'm getting some of you guys might be entrepreneurs, running your own business or doing something unconventional, and it's almost like they're like, you know what, maybe I could try that myself too. Or maybe I want to change this about myself and become, you know, trying this and doing that. Because I feel like they're really invigorated with how you guys live your life. So I want to get some additional messages for pile 4. Let me use this deck. I also feel like you guys have really beautiful eyes, and they're just acknowledging that. So we got playfulness, and it says laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. So like I said, you guys have a strong vibe that you guys definitely kind of have a playful way of speaking to each other that's a little bit like competitive or like flirting or, you know, quipping with each other. One person maybe not insulting, but kind of like you say this, I say that. And the conversation's full of zingers and the conversation moves a million miles an hour. And it's really cute. Like, I feel like there's a lot of attraction there, but it's kind of like flirty. But I feel like you guys are that couple that when you guys are flirting, everyone else could tell and would be staring like across the room because they're like, oh my God, they clearly are into each other, even though they're not standing over there in the corner professing their love to each other. They're just talking about like, you know, work or like their homework or whatever, like random, you know, commonplace stuff. But just like I said, the zingers, the heat, the energy between you guys, and both of you guys also being very physically attractive. I think both of you guys command attention. So we got romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. And that's what I'm getting is like, I feel like this person was almost bored. Like they didn't have as much interest in stuff. And then when you came around, it's like, ooh, this is exciting. This is what is this? Like, and almost like I didn't expect to feel this way about this person because like I thought I was over that stage in my life. Like I didn't know I was going to be nervous about running into someone. I'm Mr. Smooth or I'm Mrs. Smooth. Like, why am I anxious to see them? Why am I like triple checking my hair in the mirror before I run into them? And why am I hoping I run into them? And why am I like going to the coffee shop at the exact same time that they went last time, you know, the last time I ran into them? Why am I thinking about them so much? Let me get more cards. Okay, we got transformation on that card. And again, this is a really strong energy of I do think they find your body very beautiful. I just want to mention that, you guys, because I feel like some of you guys are insecure about your body, or you were like, oh, I just didn't look that good. And they're like, oh my God, you look amazing. But I just want to mention that quickly. But I was saying that the heavy emphasis on transformation that's come throughout this reading with the Tower card and a bunch of other cards, we got trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. So I just feel like there's something about this situation that is transforming them, like they've learned from you or you've invigorated them. And it's like they are just acknowledging how much that you have had that impact on them, whether you see it or not. Or you might be like, oh yeah, well, they changed their hair a little, or like, yeah, I noticed they dressed a little different, but I mean, whatever. But it's like, it's a big deal. It's a big change. It's gone deep for them. I love emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception. But I honestly think the message that I got when I saw this card, because it has like a picture of a topless woman on it, is that your body is just very beautiful. Like it's like there is something gorgeous about your body, and they are very invigorated by it. You know, they think you look amazing. And so I think you guys should know that if you have been insecure about that, like do not let that hold you back. A message for you. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of you at this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Wow, I definitely think they think about you a lot. I don't know if this is at the stage of love yet, but maybe it is. I mean, I feel like they think of you despite themselves. Like they don't want to be thinking of you so much. Again, I keep seeing Rhett Butler in my mind, how he's kind of like, why do I still care about this crazy lady? And everyone's always asking that. They're like, what? But he, you know, that's how love is. It's like, a lot of times you'll see that too in celebrity couples. Like people are like, I don't get why he's with her. Why does he put up with her? Why is she with him? And it's like, that's love. Like it's not always makes sense. Like to our logical mind, it's our heart. It's a soul connection. And I just feel like, yeah, maybe it is love, but they just really feel they're very into you. And this card, this dice randomly turned over into Taurus. So a lot of Venus energy coming through. Venus, again, ruling beauty. And Taurus is very Empress energy of someone who I feel like appreciates luxury, appreciates the finer things in life. And I just get that vibe is like you guys either have already achieved a lot financially or you're going to, but they're impressed by everything you have going on in that sense. So let me get some additional cards for pile for messages from their person. So we got slow down, pause, and allow things to unfold. Love who you are. You are divine, delightful, and deserving of all the wonderful things life has to offer. And that's really something they really want you to know is like if you have been insecure about your body or your looks, they just want you to stop and recognize. They're like, why is she insecure? Their higher self is saying that because they're like, she looks amazing or he looks amazing. Like, seriously, this is crazy. True love, this love is once in a lifetime. Forgiveness, nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. I'm feeling like that message is for you to them, from them. Yeah, for you, from them. Like, kind of like maybe you did judge them because, like, well, you were dating all these people, or like you're in another relationship, but it's like, yeah, but that was before they met you, or like they're like, they don't compare to you. And like, I've realized, and you know, I almost feel like before they were running from their feelings or something, like they would date people to get away from their feelings. But with you, it's something more, it's something different. And they feel that so strongly with you. So they don't want you guys to judge them for that. They want you to just like let things unfold and just not have your guards up so much with them, and just be more open to like whatever happens and it's okay. And I'm not this like just sleazy person that you might think I am. Maybe you think like, yeah, they date everyone or they flirt with everyone and like they don't care about me. But they're like, no, actually you mean more to me than anyone else, and I care a lot. Like, so they really want you to know that and not be holding yourself back from them, and not be um like trying to block this from developing. Because I feel like with slow down, like I said, and there's temperance at the beginning, I feel they have every intention of coming back. And it's almost like just be patient and let things happen as they should. And I just feel like a message for some of you guys is to be open, because they see that you have boundaries and they're invigorated by that. But it's like, you know, it's one thing to have some protections up and some boundaries up, but it's kind of like if you build your castle with a moat with a fire breathing dragon, and it's 200 feet deep moat with alligators and crocodiles and spikes on the side, and you know, a bunch of cannons and guard station and like 20 feet walls. Yeah, probably no one's going to be able to get through. You know what I mean? So we want to have walls up that are healthy and good boundaries. But if we sense something that could really be amazing for us, then let it happen. And like that's the thing that you realize with the Tower card is any pain or difficulty that might come up is for your greatest and highest good. And it's something that needs to happen. And we grow from those pains. We grow from those relationships even when they don't work out. So if you guys are like, yeah, I don't want to waste my time with this. Well, maybe this is a divine connection and maybe it's not supposed to work out forever, or maybe it is, but you'll never know unless you try it. And I think being open to it is, you know, there's a lot of magic here. I love this vibe. I really like this. This is very interesting. Yeah, this is exciting. I love those movies like Gone with the Wind where they're like fighting all the time and then they, fall in love. So I would watch this. So let me know in the comments what's happening with this because I get curious about relationships like this with all this heat and passion. It's very interesting. You guys definitely might want to check out my 18 plus readings on my Patreon too because this person definitely has a lot of 18 plus fantasies about you that involve you in the bedroom. So if you are curious about that, you might get some interesting readings on there for sure. So that's in my bio. The link for that is in my bio. And I have a couple 18 plus readings over there. So definitely check that out if you want to kind of tap into their fantasies that I'm not allowed to say here on YouTube. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give it a big thumbs up too, and let me know what was happening because again, I'm curious. And make sure to subscribe, turn those notifications on, click that bell so you can find out as soon as I post. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye.